Yeah. You committed to the money, you committed to the fame. The Torah like menorah, cause it's lit just like a flame. You committed to the money, you committed to the fame. The Torah like menorah, cause it's lit just like a flame. Hey, kingdom is eternal, lake of fire and inferno. Matthew 7:23, a permanent deferral. The wrath of Yahuwah, that's a turbulent dispersal. Haters never can say I heard you with commercial. Said no to no labels, ain't no demons in my circle. And people say they love you when they scheming just to hurt you. And I can see them demons, they misleading and deceiving. When Yahushua coming back, he gon' leave them demons grieving. You committed to the money, you committed to the fame. The Torah like menorah, cause it's lit just like a flame. You committed to the money, you committed to the fame. The Torah like menorah, cause it's lit just like a flame. You committed to the money, you committed to the fame. The Torah like menorah, cause it's lit just like a flame. You committed to the money, you committed to the fame. The Torah like menorah, cause it's lit just like a flame.
You committed to the money, you committed to the fame. I'm committed to Yahuwah. Nah, baby, we not the same. We in two different lanes. Yeah, I'm on that narrow path under the shadow of God. Only place safe from His wrath. You sell your soul for a bag, that's the same as the birthright. All my life I had to fight, and for mine I'll fight all night. In due time we'll be alright. The divine assigned our plight, but the Torah like menorah designed to be our life.
You committed to the money, you committed to the fame. The Torah like menorah, cause it's lit just like a flame. You committed to the money, you committed to the fame. The Torah like menorah, cause it's lit just like a flame. Hey,
Yekcyr.
Rest on the 7th day as surely as a Sunday. One path to Yahuwah and Yahusha is the one way. Narrow path step and stay on track like a subway. Yahusha crack the sky with the Malachim someday. Dietary laws ain't no eating swine flesh. Yahusha garment staining blood like the wine press. The heathens crying out, strong delusion, they the blindest. These heathens can't keep Jesus, not appease in the slightest. Feast days, moral laws, keeping the Shabbats. No follow ways to eat them by Yahusha's blood I'm bought. Jesus is a big Virgin Mary, don't need her. Yekcyr spin the block on the devil with the heater. Covenant keeper, the Ruach is my teacher. Yahuwah the creator, worship him and not the creature. Christianity can't be any same old difference. You call on pagan names and you call yourself bishops. Heathens in these camps, Jacob giving up his birthright. Hugged up with these nations, white bodied like a termite. Reject the Messiah, yeah, your doctrine is Jewish. Scum of the earth, cause that doctrine is sewage. Yahusha in the Torah, you can't see it, you foolish. Committed to your it's a fact that I do this. You are my enemy if you an enemy of Torah. Destruction for the wicked, just like Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah, ain't no new ways, doctrine, no chakras, no auras. The Apocrypha, I read it, I explore it like Dora. I'm a strong black man with biblical values. Fulfill doesn't mean abolish, yeah, I'm quoting out Matthew. I'm not a patriot, I am fearing the lure. 24 and forever, my king is Yahusha. I don't care about America, she surely gon' fall. And the ops gon' hate you when you Kadashi you called. Yahusha 24, always and forever. To Yahuwah I surrender, my life has been better. Put no trust in no man, nor you are a curse. All esteem to Yahuwah, ayy, I put him first. Yeah, whoa, ayy. Yahusha 24, ayy, it's Yahusha 24, ayy. Yahusha 24, Yahusha 24, Yahusha 24. All esteem to Yahuwah in the highest. Baruch haba Basham Yahuwah. Baruch atah King Yahusha.
Hey, Yekcyr.
Hey. 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 Barak Yahuwah, all esteem to the highest. Sorry about that. The technical issues before. I was like playing this song and then it just like went blank for a second. My bad. I apologize. Shalom, family. All praises to the Most High Yahuwah. We're back real quick. This is not going to be very, very long, but I felt like since last week we didn't go live as scheduled, I didn't want to leave y'all hanging because I knew some of y'all was like looking forward to that. And we're still going to do it this Friday. But I said, you know what? So it won't turn into like a 6-hour show. I was like, let me just try to maybe come on before that show to kind of lead into the next section of it. So tonight, we're going to be talking a little bit about Lucifer. All right. I mean, we're not going to get into everything. I had such little time to do this, but I felt like it'd be a great place to kind of like, um, set the tone for Friday. And then also it could just be a reminder that I will be back Friday to the people who might be looking forward to it and wondering what happened. You feel me? So tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about that. We're not going to get too deep into it, but I'll definitely set some I'll probably be able to put some things together for you, because I know there's some new people on the channel. Shout out to them that are, asking questions and things, but they're starting to kind of piece some things together. So, Barak Yahuwah, man, Barak Yahuwah. So let me first load up this video here. We're not going to watch it just yet, but I'm just pulling it up because it's going to be an important part of what I'm about to show you. This is just crazy. It's just crazy stuff. Okay. So, like I said, it's not going to be too in depth, too crazy. You know what I'm saying? You get a decent amount of information tonight. But it's going to be like a appetizer to the full course meal that I'm bringing on Friday. You feel what I'm saying? And if I feel like a lesson might be too in depth and I feel like I need to shorten it up a little bit, I could, break it up into sections like that. So that's something we'll get to. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and let's jump into this. First, I want to show you guys something here. All right, let me pull it up. I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to mind when you see this. So this is supposed to be Lucifer. Now, I'm not saying this is 100% accurate, but it says Lucifer, the king of the white gods.
whom others have called Apollo, Abraxas, Siva, Quetzalcoatl, and that's from Serrano, and Lucifer, or who they call Rabbi Yeshua. Now, I just find this to be so interesting, y'all. Okay? Because a lot of the gods that they're advertising right now look like this. Look at Thor. Look at Aquaman. And we talked about that kind of like with the whole Atlantis, the Atlantean, the new golden age. You know, we're talking about that in the Nephilim series, and we're kind of bridging the gap there. But this imagery is starting to become more normalized. And this is personal for me, family. This is so personal for me because I mean, I used to be in the industry, and that is the standard. That is what they call the standard of beauty. So when they say there's no sour cream supremacy, that's cap. I mean, not so much that they're actually supreme, but this ideal that they hold to, it is real. That is 100% cap, because I was in the industry, and I tell this story all the time, but I knew Yahoo was going to lead me to this because, like, and now that I'm understanding the truth, right? I understand that somebody like me who's fully Adamic, Negro, Afro, you know what I'm saying? Darker skin, right? Just regular, Negro that grew up in the hood, right? I was not considered the standard of beauty. Okay. Black is not considered the standard of beauty in Hollywood. It is not. Matter of fact, they said my name was too ethnic. All right. They didn't like it. You feel what I'm saying? So listen, hear me out. Hear me out for real. All right. When I went into the casting agency, they were cool with me and they liked me, and I did like a little like monologue or whatever, and they liked it, and they were like, okay, yeah, we want to work with them or whatever. But I was not considered the standard of beauty as a child. They would rather a blue-eyed, blonde-haired child, the Nephilim seed. So this is how, even for me, as someone who understands the Adamic seed and the fallen seed, I am completely Adamic, and the Adamic seed is not seen as beautiful. It is not the standard of beauty. The children of Lucifer are the standard of beauty. Blue eyes, blonde hair, and the Nephilim seed. This is the standard of beauty. And it makes sense, because if Lucifer got cast from heaven, the glory and esteem that he had would have died with him. So when people ask me, so are you saying the fallen angels are white? No, I'm not saying that they are. I'm saying at that great fall, that depigmentation, because think about it. If you think about, like, if melanin is a divine signature of Yahuwah, as we've been looking at and understanding, right? When the angels were cast away, that glory that they had would have included that pigmentation, that signature of the divine creator, because they are cast aside from him. You know what I'm saying? And so we know that the Caucasians came from this union with the daughters of Cain and these fallen angels. And we're looking at this mutation, and we see that this mutation would have taken place, causing these blue eyes, the blonde hair, so on and so forth. And we're going to look a little bit more deeper into that blue eyes, because that standard of beauty that they try to portray. And let me tell y'all, there was another incident that I had when I was in the industry, y'all. And I ain't going to put too much out there, but I'm going to just say this. I was on set for a show, and I was one of the characters in the sitcom, and there was a child there that was Aryan. He's one of these Indo-Europeans, fallen seed, right? The dude knew about white privilege. He knew how he could use that against me and get me, you know what I'm saying, fired and replaced. Right? He knew that. He knew that because he saw me, this young Yahudi, Adamic black child, as a threat to him. Why? Because he thought I was going to outdo him. All right? That's what this was. So that jealousy of the devil, the jealousy of Cain, the jealousy of the children of Lucifer, of this Adamic Israelite Yahudi child, He saw me as a threat. So what did he do? What did he do? He made up something and that wasn't verified and wasn't proven. Long story short, my character got written out of the show and I was replaced with this blue-eyed blonde-haired girl. I kid you not. They replaced me with the fallen seed. And he knew that this industry is like that. And they'll find any reason to fire a black man, fire a black woman. That's what I'm saying. This industry is dirty, bro. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing, bro. You feel what I'm saying? But this is the standard of beauty. Now, we're going to look at something here. Okay? So y'all understand, like, there's a reason why for me, it means so much more for me to explain this to you. Because I can look at this from the perspective being in these circles amongst the fallen seed, right? As someone who didn't know this truth. And even understanding the colorism and the hate of black people and just my black skin and just who I am as a Yehudi, the hate and the racism I experienced even in those professional circles where millions and millions of dollars are on the line in production and casting. And even, you know what I'm saying, when they, you know, do the makeup and how they have you dress. And then obviously the roles that they want you to play, the stereotypes they want you to act out, like all of this. I have been able to experience this from a perspective that our people may not have, right? There's our people who just deal with the racism, you know what I'm saying, from these people on the job or just in general. But then there's those of us who have been in some of these other professional circuits, even some of our sisters in the fashion industry. There's millions of dollars in that. You know what I'm saying? You don't see too many dark-skinned models out there. You know what I'm saying? You don't see too many dark-skinned women in these music videos because a lot of these rappers are colorists, right? You see a bunch of mixed biracial women in them. And you see a whole bunch of Asian, white, non-black women in these music videos. And listen, I'm not supporting our sisters being out there shaking that thing on camera. You know what I'm saying? It's a misrepresentation, hypersexualization of the daughters of Zion. You know what I'm saying? That's not how our women should be, you know, presenting themselves, right? Right? So I don't support that. But nonetheless, you have a black man, a Yehudi, you know what I'm saying, with no black women in the video, right? And if it is a black woman, you could barely tell because she's biracial. You feel what I'm saying? You don't have those Lauryn Hill types being displayed very much anymore. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. Even in hip hop, bro, at least you had some type of variety. You know what I'm saying? If you like that Little Kim, you know, stuff back there, you know what I'm saying? That was what you was into, right? But then you also had some Lauryn Hill if you wanted some variety, you wanted some bars, you wanted some good music. Bro, she really made the best album of all time and dipped. Bro, Lauryn Hill, bro, she literally made the best album of all time and she dipped. And I think she just saw things for what they were in the industry. She's like, nah, I don't want none of this. This ain't for me. Straight up. But all right, fam, let's keep going. I don't want to get too deep, but it's just, you know, these concepts, bro, they make so much sense. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And I'm going to read y'all comments, but we got so much to get into, so I don't want to spend too much time. All right. So let's go ahead and let's look at this, fam. All right. All right. So understanding this, I think, genuinely comes down to going back to Hashatan, Lucifer, right? That fall that he had. Now, first I'm going to show you this other image here. All right. So that was one image that I showed you. I'm going to show you another one. Check this out. Listen, they tell you who they are, and they've been telling us who they are. This is the Vatican. Obviously, you can see the Pope, the one that passed away recently, the second, Pope John Paul II. I don't know. I don't know what the heck it is. The dang Pope. The poop. Better yet, the poop. What the hell is that? That's fallen angels. That's demons. Like they literally sitting down in front of a legion of demons, y'all. See, the children of Lucifer want to gaslight you, and they want to make you think that it's not the pale-skinned individuals that are involved in like this Luciferian stuff. And don't get me wrong, it's melanated people who sold out too. But let's be real. The face of the New World Order are the pale-skinned people. Give me a 1 if you agree with that. Yes or no. Okay, 1 if you agree, 2 if no. Okay, the black man, the black woman is not the face of the New World Order. They are just the tools and the puppets of it. But the face of the New World Order is the pale skins, cuz. Period. Period. You cannot blame this on us. You cannot, hey, white man, white woman. You cannot blame this on us. This is you. This is your people that are the face of the New World Order. You are the children of Lucifer. That is your daddy. That is your daddy. That is your dad. That's not my dad. I don't look nothing like my dad. I look like my father in heaven. Okay, I don't look like your dad. I look like my father in heaven. My people look like our Father in heaven. You look like your daddy. Okay? Period. Period. Straight up, yo. They are the face of this New World Order because they are the fallen seed. All right? It's just that simple. And they'll try to look, Yummy, she said I missed the question. Yummy, I had said, sis, I had said, are they or are they not the pale skins? Are they not the face of this New World Order? Like when you think New World Order, the first thing you think about is like the World Economic Forum, white people, Bill Gates, white people. All you do is think about pale skinned people when you talk about Agenda 2030. You know what I'm saying? You think about the Trump administration, all you thinking about is pale faces, homie. You ain't thinking about no black faces, yo. You ain't thinking about no melanin, homie. You thinking about the non-melanated. And the reason why, you know what I'm saying, you shouldn't be thinking about melanated people is because this New World Order is nothing but a white male cope. The New World Order ain't nothing but a white male cope. I got to make that into a song. I had a song called New World Order is a Great Reset. But what if I did New World Order is a white male cope, white male cope, white male cope. New World Order is the white male cope, white male cope. Hey, white male cope. New World Order is the white male cope, white male cope, white male cope. New World Order. Is it not? And listen, like I said, don't get me wrong, bro. You have melanated people who have sold out and are obviously going to become a tool of it. But the people who are pulling the strings behind it are the pale skins. Okay? Where are they in this picture? Sis, this is the Vatican. The Vatican. This is inside the Vatican. And I'm going to show you guys some more images here. All right? Let's keep going. So there's that. Now, let me show you this other image. Speaking of the Vatican, look at this. The serpent. The snake. Come on, y'all. It's right in your face. They are the serpent seed. Okay? All of these Catholic bishops and even the Cesare Borgia, the fake white Jesus, you know what I'm saying? The gay homosexual that murdered his brother and all of that, just like Cain. The bloodline of Cain. Come on, y'all. Same thing, bro. It's all the same serpent bloodline. Yeah, you got different families like the Merovingians and the Caesares and all of that, but Cesare Borgia was Rh negative. Y'all didn't know that, huh? Huh? The one that looked like the white Jesus, yeah, that is Cesare Borgia. Cesare Borgia is from that fallen bloodline. So all these historical figures, family, that they have kind of attached to this Christian religion that they've created, which is just a bastardized version, a bastardized pagan version of the truth that is Yahuwah Yahusha, a lawless, bastardized, watered down version of what the truth that is Yahuwah Yahusha, and presented it to us to keep us enslaved. But this is truly what this is. Now, speaking of blonde hair and blue eyes, let me show you one more thing. This is the last image, and we're going to move on. What does this image put in your mind? Just type in a few words in the chat. What comes to mind when you look at this image, family? Let me full screen it here for you, actually. What comes to your mind when you look at this image? Just type a few words, or one word, however many words that come to you when you look at this image. Yummy. She said, "Gee, yes, Statue of Liberty. Yes, yes, yes." Somebody said pure evil. Yes, yes. That is the Statue of Liberty. But guess who else that is? That is a painting of Lucifer, family. That is an actual painting of Satan. And look at that. Blue eyes and blonde hair, family. And we're going to compare this to the Statue of Liberty, yes. But look at this. This is Satan. But listen, it gets crazier. It gets crazier. So first, let me prove to you that this is actually a painting of Satan. Then I'm going to show you a very interesting there's two people who decided to post up in front of this image. And I'm going to show you in a second. But first, let me show you this video. This is so wild. All right. Fair use. I'm going to mute it and I'll put my own beat on because y'all know I can't do it with the music, gang. Y'all know what it is. All right, let's do fire. There. Now let's switch it. There we go. So what it means in the painting is the summoning of the legions of Satan. Satan summoning the legions. Now we know in scripture, let me actually turn this down. We know in scripture, y'all, that Yahusha cast out demons out of a man. And Yahusha asked these demons to identify themselves, and they said that we are legion, we are many. We know about the demonic possession. We know about the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim, right? So isn't it interesting that this painting is referred to as Lucifer or Satan summoning a legion of demons? That's also interesting. Now, let me show you this next thing because it gets a little bit more interesting than that. Look at this. This is Jacob Rothschild's, somebody who is of those banking families, the serpent bloodline. You know what I'm saying? The one with the cone head cranium. You feel what I'm saying? The chrome dome cranium. You feel me? But look at them. They're and that's Marina Blavatsky, who is like this woman. Actually, you know what? That's not her name. I forget what her name is. I got to look it up. It just literally slipped my mind just now. She was posted in front of this and she's into spirit cooking. Marina Blavatsky is something like that. I can't think of what it is. I'll look it up. But she does a spirit cooking and she's like an occultic witch, right? They're standing right in front of this image of Lucifer. That is very telling, y'all. That is very telling. They're doing it right in front of your face and literally telling you we the children of the devil. What's her name? Marina Abramovic. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I had to look it up. I was thinking Blavatsky. Blavatsky, she was part of the Thule Society, and I get them confused because they got all these heathen Indo-European names. You feel me? But anywho, that's Marina Abramovic, and she's attached to like the spirit cooking. She has a lot of pull in the industry. She's always doing like these weird, things that she does with the spirit cooking where she be eating cakes of people's bodies. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Don't worry, I'm not going to show you nothing too crazy, but I just want to show you what spirit cooking actually is. And though you might think that they're simulating eating somebody, chances are they are still eating somebody. Let me show you this. So this is her right here. All right. And I mean, look at this. I mean, she had like, they call this art. They call it art, but we know it's not art. It's ritualistic demonic magic. She'll have like dolls of like babies, like smeared in blood and writing on walls and just evil, evil stuff. Are these not the children of the devil? I don't know how people could say that they're not. If you go to Hollywood or if you go in LA and you see a bunch of people walking around wearing a Baphomet flag, chances are it's all gonna be a bunch of freaking white people. You ain't gonna see no black people doing no dang ritual, you know what I'm saying, walking around with no dang Baphomet flag, wearing some dang animal costumes. You ain't gonna see us doing that weird, goofy stuff. Come on now. This is prone with them, bro. And y'all know what it is. Let's just call Satanism what it is. Satanism and wickedness, and when it comes to spiritual wickedness, it has a white face to it. It absolutely does. Like, look at her. This witch right here, always surrounded by these rappers. She's actually a fashion designer. Y'all know who she is. I mean, she looked like the Walking Dead. Look how pale she is. Bohemian Grove, yup, a bunch of white people in robes. Let's just tell the truth, bro. Like, they not gonna talk about this, bro, but it's them. It is always the fallen seed that is involved in these activities. Let's be real with ourselves. Now, let me show you this article here. We're talking about the children of the fallen. I'm gonna kill the music on this. Let's read this, y'all. This is an article that I found, and I've been sitting on this piece of information for quite some time, but I feel like what I'm going to be bringing out, it totally comes full circle with what I'm about to show you. So let's read this. Cain and his descendants and the fallen angels and their Nephilimic descendants both had blazing blue eyes. So is there truth to the concept of the blue-eyed devil? I know my dad used to always say that, bro. And the more I think about it, I'm like, man, my dad was right about a lot of stuff. Hey, look, I would even venture to say me and my dad would actually have a good relationship right now if he was still alive, if I came to him with this information. I feel like my dad knew, bro. Low key. My dad didn't know he was an Israelite or nothing like that, but I feel like he knew that they were actual devils. He actually knew that. You know what I'm saying? Like, my dad knew, bro. My dad was woke, cuz. I'm telling y'all, bro. My daddy was woke. And I feel like he knew. He knew all of this. And that's why he just didn't like him. I mean, you know, it's you know, the white man just didn't make our lives easy at all. But, you know, my dad obviously was a victim of the Ronald Reagan era. You know what I'm saying? He was on, you know what I'm saying, the rocks for sure. Before that, my dad was a good man, but when that Ronald Reagan era hit, it hit our community hard. And from there, he kind of fell apart from there. You know what I'm saying? Ended up having health problems due to the heavy drug use. And he didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? He ended up passing out. He passed away a few years ago. You know, Most High rest his soul. Me and him did not have a good relationship at all, in truth. My father was not there for me. He'd rather go smoke the stuff than be there for me. He abandoned me. So my father's sisters took me in. But, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this could have bridged that gap. And it's so sad that he's no longer here, because this would have been that perfect moment for us to bridge that gap. Because like, there's a common understanding that I have now. Like, there's a common understanding you had, and now there's a common understanding I have as your son, right? But unfortunately, that's just how it goes. You feel me? So let's read this article here. The blue-eyed devil, is there truth to that? Okay? And we're gonna get deep with this. Do y'all want a deep show? Because I promise, even though it's not a long show, I will be going so deep with this. All right, I promise you, I got proof, I got receipts. So just get comfortable, get comfortable. Give me a one, get comfortable, get comfortable, get comfortable, get comfortable. All right? Give me a one. Come on, get comfortable, get comfortable, get comfortable. You feel me? Just chill out for a minute. I mean, I know y'all, I don't know who at work right now, who at the plantation, but just chill. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get deep. We gonna have some, it's gonna be a learning moment. You gonna get some food tonight. I promise. I got you. All right, fam. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Barak Yahuwah. I know I didn't get my shout outs. Shout out to the mods. Shout out to the family. Love y'all. Barak Yahuwah. Please hit the like. All right. So look, Cain and his descendants and the fallen angels and their Nephilimic descendants both had blazing blue eyes, blue-eyed devil. So let's read this article, okay? Cain and his descendants both have blazing blue eyes. Fallen angel DNA, which also includes Satan, carries the blue eye gene. This is why our ancestors called the wicked ones blue-eyed devils. They knew something from the ancient past that most of us don't know or understand today. Also, the primary hair color tied to these wicked offspring of Satan and the fallen angels was blonde. Whoa. Now, family, hasn't this been what I've been showing you and Gates of Holda and other, individuals, open diaries? Shout out to her, because I don't shout her out enough. She be going in on proving that too. You feel me? And everybody else who be showing this information, Barack Yahuwah. So we keep coming back to blue eyes and blonde hair. Family, are we not coming back to blue eyes and blonde hair and seeing more and more proof of that blue eyes and blonde hair being a Nephilim trait? Hold on. I pulled out a graphic for that. I made a graphic for that just to help the people understand, just like you talking about Nephilim traits. There's some evidence for that. So let's pull that up real quick. I got a piece of, this is a graphic. If you want to take a screenshot, I'm going to bring it up on screen for you just in case you want to. But the Nephilim traits, let's talk about that. Yes, blue eyes is one of them. And I'm going to pull out a report of these giants with red hair and blonde hair, and their skeletons were found. We're going to go deep into it today. I promise. I'll show receipts today. So the Nephilim serpent seed traits. All right. I'm going to just quickly read through these real quick just to kind of bring you back down. Kim Terry says, wow, my dad and brother was right. My dad was too. It's like the Yahudim knew something. Look, listen. I know, you know what I'm saying? We all have this, our family have this intuition as Black people. We just have an intuition. But Aki, I was just saying that my dad, it's like he knew this too. And it's like he would talk about the blue-eyed devils. And I'm just like, wait a minute. And now it's starting to make sense. Barack Yahuwah, man. Okay. All right. Love you, Ah. Let's keep going. This is going to get so deep. So, Nephilim serpent seed traits: pale skin, lack of melanin. All right. Eumelanin is itself in divinity. Why would I say it's connected to the divine? Why would I say that melanin is connected to the divine? Simply because, let me show you that. I got a graphic for that real quick that I'm going to bring up here just to illustrate why it is and why you cannot say that somebody with no melanin in their skin is superior to somebody, because that's not actually possible. That is not possible for someone with lack of eumelanin to say they're superior to anybody. So all these pale skins going around talking about, oh, we was this and we was Aryans and we was gods. If you ain't got no melanin in your skin, you are inferior. All right, period. And according to the creator. So let me show you this real quick. I posted this on my community tab, and this is just the truth. This is just facts. We're going to look at receipts. We're going to pull it all out. But look at this. I showed this before, but I posted this on my community tab. This is a 6-week-old embryo. Let me read you what I wrote. Melanin begins to form in the eyes and skin as early as 6 weeks, while a human, hue, color, human. Some people in my comment type that when I do my videos and stuff like that. They know what it is. Our people know what's up. Hue means color. Human. Okay? Human is still just in the embryonic stage long before even experiencing sunlight. So the melanin develops while the embryo is in the Black woman's womb, and that melanin starts to show up in the eyes and in the skin as early as 6 weeks, even before it's outside of the womb or fully developed. Melanin is already developing in this embryo before it is even what would be considered a fetus. This is not just pigment. This is the highest. This is the Allure flex. Black people, melanated people, whether you are Dravidian, whether you are Indian, whether you are dark-skinned Native American, whether you are African, whether you are Aboriginal, Tasmanian, whether you are a descendant of the original Etruscans, whether you are from the Solomon Islands, if you have U melanin in your skin, you are the Alua Flex, period. You are proof he's real. All right? So when we talk about the fallen seed, the pale skin, mutation, the blonde hair, mutation, the red hair, mutation, the blue eyes, mutation. Why do they have blue eyes? Because there's no melanin in the eyes. If you have healthy melanin in your skin and in your eyes, you will have brown to dark brown eyes. You could have light brown eyes, doesn't matter, it's still melanin there. So brown to dark brown means healthy melanin in your eyes. Green, mutation. Hazel, mutation. Blue, definite mutation. So brown, so any type of brown, light brown to mid brown, dark brown, all of that, that is healthy melanin in the eyes. You have it in your hair and you have it in your skin, you have it in your eyes. And like sometimes I look at some of the tribes, you know what I'm saying, in Africa, and I look at some of the brown in their eyes, and it's just so, it's like, man, it's just beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you see somebody with really light brown eyes. You know what I'm saying? You can literally look at someone's eyes and see that melanin, man. Now, I'm gonna show y'all, let's get back to this. All right. So I showed y'all that. So melanin developing in an embryo even before they're introduced to sunlight. Oh, there's something about the highest Yahuwah. And this kind of explains to me why they never show fetuses, you know what I'm saying, that are melanated. They're always white. Have y'all know when they use diagrams in hospitals and, you know, you go to school for medical and stuff like that, they teach you about children. You know, some of you sisters, y'all took child development classes and things like that, and they always showed you a white embryo. Sisters, if you brothers took child development classes or took any type of thing that had to do with medical, if you have, give me a 1 if you have ever seen them show you a melanated child or fetus or anything of that nature. Give me a 1 if you've seen that. Give me a 2 if you've never seen that. Always white. Always white. Always white. Exactly. Because they was programming you sisters. They were programming you to feel as if that is the standard for what you need to focus your time and attention on. They are telling you that that is the priority right there. Not you, not your children, their children. Brainwashing, propaganda. Yes, you have never seen that. Exactly. Absolutely not. There's a reason why, though, family. There's a reason why, sisters. There's a reason why, sisters. They had to, and this feeds into the ideal of self-hate. There's not enough Black representation, and when there is Black representation, it's always for the, you know, the shifts and the giggles. But it's never honor. You know, you see a Black man, you see a Black woman in a film or a movie or a television show, they hate each other, they dog each other out. They usually, you know, she, you know, he out there in the streets doing his thing and she taking the cover for him. He don't treat her with respect, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to these other nations, he treat her like she a queen. Got the Black woman, you know what I'm saying, feeling all thrown aside, you know, had his children and all of that. He throw her off, he abandoned her and go after the heathen. There's a reason why they show this type of imagery. We have to break the programming, y'all. See, the power to mind control is repetition. If they can keep showing you these Eurocentric ideals of beauty, you know, is represented in Hollywood, is represented, and then you see some of the you know, our people that feel like that's how they need to look, or they need to lighten their skin, or that they need to get rid of their melanin. This is a serious problem in our community, family. It absolutely is. Our people are fighting so much self-hatred to look like the children that the Most High never made, that the Most High did not call his own. We're wrestling with self-hate to look like a people who Yahuwah did not create. And this is why we have to bring these things out and talk about these things, because this is something we must overcome. The Most High did not intend us to hate ourselves. They taught us to do that. They taught us to. They taught us to, y'all. So let's keep going, all right? So you have never seen the representation of a embryo or a child or a newborn in medical school or anything of that nature with a melanated child. Well, there's a reason for that, and we're going to get to that in a second. Now, in regards to the blue eyes, let's jump back over to this article and let's finish reading because I feel like it's confirming everything that I have been showing you guys. Okay. So this is just another witness that is not my own to corroborate some of what I've been showing you. And actually, let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay. So the primary hair color tied to these wicked offspring of Satan and the fallen angels was blonde. The DNA inside is a spiritual signature of who you really are. Melanin, the divine signature to the highest, the Alua flex. And then there's a signature upon the fallen seed. Let's keep reading. The DNA inside is a spiritual signature of who you are, who you really are, and what you really are, and where you come from. The eyes are the windows to the soul, DNA, and spirit inside the body or the vessel, Salah. So the difference between aliens, demons, and fallen angels, I'll save that and I'll bring it up in a future episode. Maybe this Friday when we get into the next Nephilim show, I'll bring it down. We won't be able to get into everything. I'm just gonna breeze through some stuff. The difference between fallen angels, demons, aliens, Jedi, watchers, and according to the Bible, the book of Enoch, Jubilees, Jasher, and testimony of the mixing of genes, which started with Cain's fair-skinned or snow white daughters. Now, there is a precept I do have that Cain changed white. To people who don't understand why this brother is saying that Cain would be white, there is actually a precept for that, okay? After Cain gave his offering, the Most High was not pleased with him, so the Most High cursed him with whiteness, all right? I'm going to go ahead and pull up that precept and show you that I have something for that. I can support that with facts. So let me get that for you real quick here. We're going to just read this real quick, and I'm going to show you Yahuwah did curse Cain with whiteness. So let me pull that up real quick here. All right. So I'm going to just show you this first one, and this is the book of Adam and Eve. You can look it up. Let me just make this a little bit more bigger. Okay. So this is the first book of Adam and Eve, chapter 77, 24 through 28. And Cain came down from the altar, verse 28, and his color changed, and with a sad face, and came to his father and mother, and told them all that had befallen him. And Adam grieved much because Alua had not accepted his offering. All right. So his color changed. Well, you might be all like, well, Yekcyr, that doesn't mean anything. Well, I have another witness for that. Like I said, 2 or more witnesses are all matters established. This is the book of Lamech of Cain. God ignores, it says God, okay? God ignores the line of Cain. Cain, the father of Lamech, who was marked with leprous whiteness. So we have another witness. He was marked with pale skin. Him and his descendants are pale. This book reveals that the mark of Cain is leprous whiteness. Just as he cursed Miriam with pale skin because he was angry, just as he cursed Gehazi with pale skin because he was angry, just as he cursed King Uzziah with a leprous spot on his skin or his forehead because he was angry, just as Yahusha healed his people of leprosy because he loved them, just as he healed them of depigmentation because he loved them. This is the truth that must be understood. White supremacy is a myth. It is a lie. Matter of fact, I got something else for you. Feel free to screenshot this. I just made this today. Let's look at it real quick because it has everything to do with what we're discussing currently. All right. So let me pull it up here for you. This next thing is proof. Pale skin is a curse. All right. Let's just look at this together. Yeah. Pale skin is a curse. Miriam cursed with leprosy, depigmentation. All right. Numbers 12, 8 through 10. Okay. Naaman healed of leprosy. 2 Kings 5, 1 through 14. Gehazi, cursed with leprosy, depigmentation. 2 Kings 5, 15 through 27. King Uzziah, cursed with leprosy, depigmentation on his forehead. 2 Chronicles 26, 19 through 21. Noah born as an albino, no pigment. Enoch 105, 1 through 6. Noah's father thought he was from fallen angels due to his pale appearance. All of Enoch 106. Noah's melanin restored on the 8th day after his circumcision. Writings of Abraham 8, 1 through 3. Feel free to go and look these up and disprove it if you have an issue with this. All right? Just wanted to show the receipts. All right, let's keep going. So, Cain being fair-skinned, we have 2 precepts for this. 2 precepts. All right? So I got 1 or 2 or more witnesses. I've established it. Unless you can prove otherwise, that's what we going with. All right? So the mixing of genes, which started with Cain's fair skin or snow white daughters. All right? The women of and use body parts as a skin rejuvenation and coloring maintenance technique. According to the Apocryphal and banned Book of Enoch, these were the angelic beings responsible for binding the wicked fallen angels or watchers who had transgressed the Most High's law. The news report said that the early church had excluded the book, attributed to the Old Testament prophet and patriarch Enoch from the authorized version of the Bible because it described these fallen angels and their activities. Genesis 6, 1 through 4, when men begin to multiply on the face of the earth, daughters were born to them, that the sons of Elua saw the daughters of them, that they were fair. Fair. Doesn't fair mean white? Family, doesn't fair mean white? Now, some people might think, oh, fair could mean, goodly or pleasant or, whatever. It could mean that, but I just found it interesting that usually when the Gentiles are trying to say that, David was ruddy, meaning white, they always put the word fair right in front of ruddy so they can kind of like try to get people to think that he's white or he's pale or he's pasty when he's actually a light-skinned Negro, just like how Malcolm X was called Detroit Red. You know why? Because he's ruddy. Okay? Ruddy doesn't mean white, because if you're going to say that ruddy means white, then you are also saying that the red heifer cow, which couldn't have no white hairs on it, by the way, okay? You would say that that is pale or white or pasty, all right? Or you're saying that you're saying that red, when it's described in scripture as Adam being formed from Adamah, which is the red ground, and then the Bible says that it was watering the garden of Ethiopia, surrounding the whole land of Ethiopia, which would be the red dirt of sub-Saharan Africa. How the heck do you get white from red? Let's stop playing these games, man. Let's stop playing these games. Let's keep going. All right, so fair. And like I said, I got some more proof. And took them wives all which they chose. Traditionally, the Banu Allah, sons of God, numbered several hundred, and they descended to earth on Mount Hermon. Significantly, this was a sacred place to both the Canaanites and the Hebrews who invaded their land. In later times, shrines to the god Baal, Zeus, Helios, Pan, Astarte were built on its slopes. Okay. So we'll stop there. There's a lot more, but we don't have time to read all of this, but I just wanted to show you that there's a precept. Now, in regards to blue-eyed, blonde-haired giants, let's prove that that is actually true. And it's not made up. It's not my own opinion. Just more evidence of the fallen seed. Let's get it.
Standing burials, correct? They were standing burials, and these beings were anywhere between 9 and 15 feet tall. They had their clothing on, and I saw the images of them. Mm-hmm. They had hair, very red hair, bright orangish red hair. And as you're going to tell us in a little bit, a lot of these skeletons have blonde, waist-length black hair, red hair. Correct. That's still intact.
Kathleen was blonde, red hair all over the country, including Florida. Mm-hmm. Black hair often. And again, I'm not saying that all the population of the Americas was Caucasian or giants, but the main central burials in the majority of the major mounds across America, and again, you have to understand, hundreds of thousands of mounds in the Americas. The Smithsonian themselves estimated.
And the ethnicity is really varied across the country. There was one, as I recall, one leader, 9-foot-tall man, was found with a little white-haired child.
Kentucky.
In Kentucky. Talk about that a little bit. And then also about the really spectacular sounding one with the waist-length black hair. He sounded just exquisite.
Yeah, he definitely should have been in some heavy metal rock band.
Yeah.
The Kentucky-Tennessee finds are amazing, and the most amazing account I found was Dr. John Haywood, and he not only made first-person on-site examinations, but also collected over 100 years of what he considered the most authentic finds in the area. The finds in Kentucky and Tennessee include secret caves, sacred springs, standing monolithic stones, 9-foot giants found with blonde-haired children, and what they called the moon-eyed children, which I thought was very
the little
interesting.
teensy ones. Let's talk
Haywood
about those.
they were excavating mounds in Tennessee and Kentucky, and they kept noticing small mounds in association. And finally, they thought, well, let's just find out what's in these things. And they dug in, and what they essentially found were small coffins, 3 feet long, and inside them were bones of pygmies or midgets or leprechauns, whatever you want to call them. The Indians called them the moon-eyed children or the moon-eyed people, and they said that the moon-eyed people were associated with giants, always found in their company, only came out at night, and liked to create mischief.
Interesting. It's almost the story, as you say, of leprechauns.
And I thought, well, this is the exact same thing that they're saying, about leprechauns.
Yes.
They're on the cover is
Yes.
one of the moon-eyed
Yes.
children right
Yes.
there. Yeah. So a lot more to our heritage.
Between 1919 and 1928, he dug up hundreds of Indian graves on the Channel Islands, adding thousands of artifacts to his collection, featuring ancient arrowheads, clubs, flutes made from human bones, and beads believed to have been used as currency. Glidden excavated as many as 800 ancient burial sites, primarily those of the native Tongva American Indians. Amongst his discoveries were what he claimed to be the bones of a race of giants, which he described as being European in appearance rather than Native American, with fair hair and blue eyes. The skeletons, which ranged in height from 7 to 9 feet, were claimed by Glidden to be the prehistoric ancestors of the Native Americans whose graves he had been turning over. In 1930, Glidden declared to the papers that he had unearthed the skeleton of a princess who had been buried upright in an urn with her fingers clasping the rim. Arranged around her were the skeletons of 64 children. 5 feet beneath the site, he found the skeleton of a man who measured 7 feet 8 inches in height, with a spear skewering his left abdomen. Glidden's giants, the tallest of which was 9 feet 2 inches, were apparently also highly intelligent and possessed relatively advanced technologies, which far exceeded those believed by popular science to have existed at the time.
Ever since I first read the story of Atlantis told by the Greek philosopher Plato back in 360 BC, I've been hooked. Now I'm determined to solve this ancient mystery, the mystery of a great city that simply vanished. Plato paints a picture of Atlantis as an architectural wonder. He says it was composed of a series of concentric walls and canals, separated by huge moats. Standing at its very center, he says, was a hill with a temple to Poseidon, the god of the sea. Gates and towers guarded the city with bridges and tunnels connecting the island with each other. There occurred portentous earthquakes and floods, and one grievous day, the whole island of Atlantis was swallowed up by the sea and vanished. Could there really be forces of nature so powerful that they could wipe out an entire civilization in just a single day? Well, that's what I want to investigate. The Canary Islands were once one of the most remote places on Earth, comparable to Hawaii or Easter Island. For centuries, the original inhabitants, the Guanches, lived largely cut off from the rest of the world. That was until the 15th century and the Spanish invaded. And many of the Guanches were killed in the fierce fighting, others by the European diseases that they had no immunity to. But it was the isolated nature of their history that intrigued the Anunnaki. SS scientists believe the Guanche were descendants of an original Aryan population, possibly related to the fabled lost civilization of Atlantis. This is where the Guanche lived. They were troglodytes. They lived in caves. You can still see some of the markings of their habitation. But what about the Aryan connection? Were the Guanche blonde-haired and blue-eyed? Fortunately, that theory can be tested out too. The people that lived in these caves revered their ancestors by preserving them, by turning them into mummies. Used to be able to find literally thousands and thousands of mummies, but unfortunately now there are just not many to be found, because back in the day, mummies were actually ground up and used as a cure for stomach aches. As bizarre as it sounds. I'm going to track down the few remaining Guanche mummies. Do they really have blonde hair? Is there evidence Aryans originally populated the islands? I want to find the answers that escaped the Nazis.
Sumeria is known as the cradle of civilization. It was here that white-skinned peoples from the Caucasus Mountains spread a worldwide cult of blood ritual and magic to the rest of the world.
Hayat nevet, enemet nevet, shetefuet ef, awet ef, haset, semawu em sa.
Woo! Man, these are the demon seed, y'all. When you really put all these pieces together, bro, it all fits, bro. It all fits. Okay, so continuing on. Now, talking about Lucifer, these are his children. And we're going to read a little bit about this, okay? So let's talk about Lucifer for a second. Now, in the book of Ezekiel, Lucifer is described. And he was one of the most beautiful creatures that Yahuwah had made. All right, let's read this. So this is Ezekiel 28, 11 through 13. And I will be reading in the Brenton Septuagint translation. And the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, Son of man, take up a lamentation for the prince of Tyre. Now, this prince of Tyre, or this king of Tyre, you're going to start to understand some things about him. He's going to remind you of a certain character in the Bible as you start to understand that it is this certain character as you continue to read. So let's continue reading. For the prince of Tyre, and say to him, Thus saith Yahuwah, you are a seal of resemblance and crown of beauty. You were in the delight of the paradise of Elua. You have bound upon the very precious stone, the sardius and topaz and the emerald and carbuncle and sapphire and jasper and silver and gold and liger and agate and amethyst and chrysolite and beryl and onyx. And you have filled your treasures and your stores in you with gold. So this is describing a very, very beautiful, very bright, you know what I'm saying, looking creature. Let's keep reading. From the day that you were created, you were with the cherub. I set you on the holy mount of Elua, and you were in the midst of the stones of fire. Okay, family, as we read this, we can see that this is not talking about a regular man now. No regular man can stand in the midst of the fire. I mean, obviously, unless they're the three Hebrew boys who are protected by the Ruach Yahuwah. But this is not a regular man that is being described. This is some sort of angelic, beautiful creature. Let's keep reading. I set you on the mount of Elua, and you were in the midst of the stones of fire, and you're faultless in your days from the day that you were created until iniquity was found in you. Okay? Of the abundance of your merchandise, you have filled your storehouses with iniquity and have sinned. Therefore, you have been cast down, wounded from the mountain of Elua, and the cherub has brought you out of the midst of the stones of fire. Your heart has been lifted up because of your beauty. Your knowledge has been corrupted with your beauty. Because of the multitude of your sins, I have cast you to the ground. I have caused you to be put to open shame before the kings. So this is describing Lucifer. Lucifer was a beautiful creature and a beautiful being, but he was so exalted in his beauty. Let's keep reading. This is Ezekiel 28. We're still in Ezekiel 28, and this is verse 18 through 19. We're still reading in 28. Because of the multitude of your sins and the iniquity of your merchandise, I have profaned your sacred things, and I will bring fire out of the midst of you that shall devour you, and I will make you to be ashes upon your land before all that see you, and all that know you among the nations shall groan over you. You are gone to destruction, and you shall not exist anymore. So this is the destruction that is written of Lucifer, that is prophesied in Genesis 3. That the serpent would be crushed. How do you kill a serpent? You bruise its head. You step down and you smash its head. You feel what I'm saying? That's what Yahusha gonna do. You know what I'm saying? That melanated, you know what I'm saying? Yahusha gonna stomp out the serpent. You know what I'm saying? Yahusha gonna stomp out the serpent. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Yahusha gonna stomp out that serpent. You feel what I'm saying? He ain't gonna just crush it. He gonna stomp out that serpent, bro. You feel me? Barak Yahuwah. All right? All right. And I will make you to be ashes upon the land before all that see you, and all that know you among the nations shall groan over you, and you are gone to destruction, and you shall not exist anymore. So this is talking about the destruction of the serpent. Now, let's quickly look at Isaiah 14, of course, because that describes the fall of Lucifer. And there are some very strong parallels there. So let's read that, okay? So Isaiah 14. How has Lucifer, that rose in the morning, fallen from heaven? So I believe this Ezekiel connects to this Isaiah. The prophets were getting, just as I said with Daniel and Nebuchadnezzar, Yahuwah gives prophets visions, or sometimes he gives people vision. They're not necessarily prophets. Nebuchadnezzar was not a prophet of Yahuwah, but he was given a vision or a dream. But when Yahuwah relays something to the prophets in the scriptures, oftentimes those prophecies can be used with different types of symbology. For example, if you read Second Esdras, some of the symbology with the eagle representing the wicked nations of Esau going after the children of Yasharal, that also connects to the wicked kingdom of the Medo-Persian Empire, the Greco-Persian Empire, with the lion with the eagle's wings, or how even the eagle is described as, pursuing us and taking us into slavery, according to Deuteronomy 28. So sometimes there's the same story or same prophecy, that same judgment, but just depicted with different types of symbolism. I believe that this is another one of the prophets confirming Yahuwah's prophecies, just in different types of ways, about Lucifer, his fall, and what will happen. So let's keep reading. How is Lucifer, that rose in the morning, fallen from heaven? He that sent orders to all the nations is crushed to the earth. So this is talking about the fall. But you did say in your heart, I will go up to heaven. I will set my throne above the stars of heaven. I will sit on a lofty mount, and on the lofty mountains towards the north. Pay attention to that. Towards the north. What is the north? What is this talking about? That would be known as Hyperborea. Hyperborea. That is the land of the so-called gods, the Aryan God man. Okay? This is where they believe that they come from. This civilization, which is called Hyperborea, which is where they, they talk about the great gods of the north. Let me pull this up here real quick. All right. Hyperborea. In Greek mythology, the Hyperboreans, pronounced Hyperborea, were a mythical people who lived in the far northern part of the known world. Their name appears to derive from the Greek beyond Boreas, the god of the north wind. Some scholars prefer a derivation of Hyperio, to carry over. All right. Despite their location in an otherwise frigid part of the world, the Hyperboreans were believed to inhabit a sunny, temperate, and divinely blessed land. That sounds like fallen angels to me. Because this is also talking about where the abyss is. So this would have to be where the angels are chained down. The fallen angels that defied the Most High, oh, this must be where they chained down at. Is that why the Aryan race has such a interest in Hyperborea? When I look on Twitter and I see these, these white supremacists and they flaunt their Aryan stuff, all they do is talk about Hyperborea. See, the fallen seed, they have a desire to communicate and get in touch with these so-called gods who are really the Nephilim. The gods of old are the Nephilim, Thor, the Nordic gods, the Odin, all of that, Nephilim. The Titans of Greco culture, Nephilim. The gods of Egypt, Nephilim. The gods of Atlantis, Nephilim. Every single one of these religions that people follow are tied to the Nephilim. Every single one of them. That's why I say the Israelite truth is not a religion. It is the one true way of the highest. And we just happen to be them people that know the true way. But y'all don't like us, though. The children of Lucifer hate us, and we the only people that know the real true way. The only real true way to the highest, only we know it. Because y'all done created a whole nother idol in your image, the Nephilim Jesus, white Jesus, blue eyes, blonde hair. Now, let me ask y'all all a question, family. This is going to be another one of these questions. Give me a one if you have seen these before. Take a look at this. We talking about blue eyes, right? Give me a one if you have seen these before. Anywhere. Give me a one if you've seen them. I sure have seen these things everywhere, y'all. Okay, cool. Yasharal, she's seen it. Well, this is the blue eye. But guess what it's called? It's called the evil eye. It's called the evil eye. And why is it blue? The fallen Nephilim trait. The fallen Nephilim seed. This is a charm. This is a wicked charm that people wear because they say it protects them from evil spirits. But what it does is it draws spirits to you. See, we don't need no charms. We don't need no amulets. We don't need none of that. I got the Ruach HaKadosh Yahuwah. I got the spirit of the highest upon me. I got the blood of the lamb. Hadam Hasha. Hadam Hasha. Hadam Hasha. Hadam Hasha. Alam. The blood of the lamb. So this is known as the evil eye, which is this blue eye. And let me show y'all some more of these, okay? So if you look at this right here, here's a little bit of a chart here. Evil eye colors, okay? White, purity, clarity, dark blue, protection and calming, light blue, self-acceptance and peace, pink friendship, contentment. This right here is some celestial fallen angel stuff. I mean, it's kind of like the all-seeing eye, but it's definitely kind of putting more emphasis on what that eye is, because that's the eye of their father, their daddy, Lucifer. Lucifer's symbolism is everywhere. His children look like him. They look just like him. And that's the so-called master race, the Lucifer race. To them, but we really are the master race because we're the children of the highest. We the ones made in his image. But Lucifer, because he couldn't make us, he had to make a corrupted Nephilim offshoot of the original man and woman, which are melanated people. And thus came the Nephilim, which created these people. And his people look like him because that's their daddy. So you've been told that this is the standard of beauty. But this is the standard of the fallen, family. Oh, this is the standard of the fallen. Now, let's look at some more of these traits here. So, Nephilim serpent seed traits, pale skin, lack of melanin, bright colored eyes, Rh negative blood, 6 fingers, extra appendages such as tails, all right? blonde hair, red hair, straight hair, psychopathic behavior, prone to demonic possession, perverse sexual behavior and tendencies, and natural psychic abilities, and also excess body hair. Now, if you are a melanated person and you happen to have any of these traits, it doesn't mean you're a Nephilim, okay? But it definitely means you inherited some recessive traits somewhere in your bloodline. But these recessive traits are found in totality and collectively in the pale skinned people. So these recessive traits come from them, which is why I'm saying somewhere if you have some of these traits, it could be because you've done some mixing. Your family, somewhere in your bloodline could be some mixing, which is why Yahuwah will have to cleanse our blood. But this is not the standard of beauty, family. This is not that. But let's read about this evil eye so you can understand a little bit more about it in case you might be curious. Okay, so what is this evil eye thing? So let's just pull it up here and let's read what it is so we can kind of understand this blue eye that you guys said you've seen everywhere. All right, so let's scroll in here. So it says the evil eye is a supernatural belief in a curse brought about by a malevolent stare, usually inspired by envy. Amulets to protect against it have been found dating to around 5,000 years ago. It is found in many cultures in the Mediterranean region. That's where you find some of these Aryan bloodlines as well. The Balkans, Eastern Europe, the Middle East, Central Asia, South Asia, Africa, and the Caribbean and Latin America, with such cultures often believing that receiving the evil eye will cause misfortune or injury, while others believe it to be a kind of supernatural force that casts or reflects a malevolent gaze back upon those who wish harm upon others. Yeah, this sounds like the exact opposite of what is promoting. You are bringing curses upon yourselves with these charms. And that's exactly what this is. This is a charm. So I find that to be so interesting that you have something that's literally a charm that you're seeing everywhere, and this evil eye is a blue eye. Well. That's so interesting. But let's keep going. All right. So let's read again. So we see here that Lucifer had fallen from heaven, and he said that he will establish his throne above the stars of heaven, and he will sit upon a mountain of the far north. He will go above the clouds, and he will be like the Most High. So these scriptures and this fall describes Lucifer, his pride, and his desire to ascend back up. But he also says he'll go to the lofty mountain of the north, or the far north, and this is referring to Hyperborea, the land of the gods, including what is known as the so-called Aryan race. Now, I want to show you guys a few other things here. Moving on. So I want to show you guys this article here about Hyperborea real quickly here, since we're talking about the lands of the far north. Let's take a look at this. All right. Barak Yahuwah. Let me actually switch this out. Okay, there we go. All right, so it says Hyperborea, mythical land of the people beyond the north wind Greek tradition. Hyperborea is the mythical land of the people beyond the north wind in Greek tradition. It is mentioned by the Greek historian Horites as a continental land of Egyptian legend bordered by the ocean river. Eridanus was the main river that flowed through it, home to white swans and lined with poplar trees that wept amber. At one time, it had been blessed with eternal offspring, resulting in a double harvest of grain each year, with most of the countryside covered in forests like the Garden of Apollo. When it was destroyed by ice, its people were believed to have migrated to southern lands. According to Greek legend, the land of Hyperborea is a place of total perfection with sunlight 24 hours a day. The people never suffered from disease or old age, nor did they have to work or fight in wars or battle. Hyperborea is believed to have been located far north of Thrace, and in modern times would be considered to lie within the Arctic Circle. Okay? The actual location of Hyperborea is a mystery. However, and according to the Greek poet Pindar, the way to Hyperboreans could not be found by ship or on foot. Several legends point to the snow cap. Now, look at this. Riphine Mountains. Now, doesn't this Riphine word right here, doesn't that look very similar to Raphaim, Riphine, Raphaim? Do y'all see the play on words right there? That is not a coincidence. We are talking about the descendants of the Raphaim, which are the Aryans, the Indo-Europeans, which is why blue eyes and blonde hair is something that they take pride in. They're proud to be the children of Lucifer. They're proud of their fallen features. Let's keep reading. Is this exactly why the Cabbage Patch Babies and the quest for, a pure Aryan race with the blue eyes and blonde hair, is that why there was a Lebensborn project in Germany and they were breeding Nephilim babies? Is that exactly why the Nazis were experimenting on people and inserting blue dye in people's eyes? Yeah, they were doing that. And I'm going to pull up something about the blue eyes in a second as well. They were experimenting, creating these Nephilim people by putting blue dye in people's eyes to alter their eye color. And y'all probably don't know this, but the Nazis were meth addicts. And y'all probably didn't know that, but they was getting high off of that Chris. It's not the type of Chris you think of now, but it definitely was meth. Let me show y'all this real quick. So they were actually putting blue dye in people's eyes during an experiment here. Now, I'm not saying that I'm putting this out here because I'm like a friend to the Revelation 2939s, and this is a Revelation 2939 article that I will be sharing, but this is something that did happen on the quest to try to make a perfect Aryan race, which is exactly why when they started creating the Lebensborn project, they went and they started kidnapping these Nordic Aryan looking children that they found all throughout Europe, Poland, and in these different countries in Northern Europe. They started to kidnap them to try to make these Aryan children and, bring about this master race. They were looking for children with certain features. Blue eyes and blonde hair was one of those things. Obviously, you had darker haired Aryan people like Hitler himself, but the standard was what looked closest to what they called the gods. All right. So let's look at this real quick here. So it reads here. So we saw it here, right here. It says the Riphaean Mountains, which is next to the Black Sea, as a location of Hyperborea, far beyond the realm of Boreas, ruler of the north wind. Different philosophers and poets have placed Hyperborea in different areas, adding to the mystery. So I just find it interesting that it mentions these Riphaean Mountains or Raphaean Mountains. Just find that to be very, very interesting. So let me show you this real quick. This is about the blue eye experimentation. So it says, in an effort to alter eye color during World War II, devout Nazi researcher Karen Magnesium had adrenaline eye drops administered to inmates at the concentration camp Auschwitz-Birkenau. A Sinti Flamme with a high prevalence of heterochromia Horites was forced to participate in this study. Members of this family, as well as other victims, were later killed and had their eyes inoculated and sent to Magnuson for examination. Magnuson articulated the findings of the events in a manuscript that has never been published. Wow. So essentially what they were doing is they were doing experimentation. They were doing experimentation on Germans, and they were doing experimentation on people with it wasn't just the Ish people. You feel what I'm saying? It was doing exterminations on people who were disabled, who were German. They had they were mixed. They weren't full German. They did these. So they did it on their own people. They did it with the Ish people. They did it to black people. They did it to everybody who wasn't freaking Nordic looking. All right. So it wasn't just, oh, it's a Holocaust thing, or, oh, it's this, or, oh, it's that. It was everybody was being experimented upon. All right. They forcibly sterilized black people in Germany at the time. They don't like talking about that, though. So no, I'm not going to just focus on one people group, because they like to focus on one people group, but they don't like to talk about what black people was dealing with, because there was a black Holocaust in Germany at that time, or actually prior to that time. But people don't like talking about that, though. No wonder their offspring like to use that METH. Yeah, they do. It's in their blood, bro. I'm telling you, a lot of their behaviors, bro, you see patterns, because it's genuinely something that just runs in their blood for real. But let's keep going, all right? So we're going to keep on going here, all right? Now, I'm going to show you guys another video that I have in regards to this information that we are looking at. So let me pull this up here. All right, so this next thing is going to be about, let's see here, 1 second. All right, so we looked at the blue eyes, the blue-eyed giants. We looked at some information on that. I'm going to pull up this next thing here real quick. Give me 1 sec. If you haven't hit the like button, please, please, please hit the like button. So let me show you this this article that was written back when they were looking at these bones of these blue-eyed, blonde-haired giants. So let me show you this real quick. So look, how our white Indians are rising out of legend, found the mysterious royal burying ground of blonde children fathered by a race of giants 3,000 years ago on Catalina Island. And it's interesting because these blue-eyed, blonde-haired giants, and it's not just blonde hair, it's red hair as well. These blue-eyed, blonde-haired, red-haired giants were being found all over in Africa, in Brazil, in Peru, in America. So these giants are all descendants of these beings, or these fallen Nephilim, the children of the fallen angels, that have been colonizing and terrorizing the earth for centuries. And their skeletons are being found all over the world. And you see the same patterns: the blue eyes, the red hair, the pale skin. Is this exactly why the Cabbage Patch Babies looked a certain type of way? Is this why this is such the beauty standard for these people? Blue eyes, blonde hair. Even when you watch the CRISPR, you know what I'm saying, the CRISPR stuff, the gene editing, they always talk about, well, if you want a child with blue eyes and blonde hair. Notice how they never talk about black features. Oh, you want a child with thicker lips, or a child with an afro, or that or that. No. They always say blonde hair, blue eyes. That's the standard that they try to present to us. I reject that standard. That is the fallen standard. That's Lucifer's standard. That is not Yahuwah's standard. That is not the standard of the highest. That is the standard of the children of the fallen angels. That's all that is. All right, let's keep going. I'm going to show y'all something else here. So, another thing. Speaking of the serpent seed, I wanted to show you guys this as well. So, here in America, if you think about the Mayans and some of the, America was once called Amaruca, which is the land of the plum serpent, or the feathered serpent. Now, the scriptures say that the serpent was cursed to crawl on its belly, right? Now, you could look at that scripture several different ways. You could say maybe the serpent originally had arms and legs, other limbs, or maybe it was a flying serpent, a serpent with wings. You see, Lucifer had pride, and he attempted to destroy man and woman. Why? Because he would have been there at the creation. He would have seen man and woman being created, because we just read in the scriptures that he was put in the garden. We read in the scriptures that he was put into the garden, and he was the most beautiful creature. So he would have seen the creation of the first man and woman. Let's look at that again, just for that precept. So he felt a way. That jealousy was stirred up in him. And I want y'all to think deeply about this right now. That jealousy was stirred up in him. Why? Because the angels were created first. Just like that jealousy is stirred up when they see that melanated black woman or they see that melanated black man, and then they start to downplay your melanin and act like it ain't nothing and like it ain't something from the highest and like we supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, jealous of your whiteness or something. Man, stop playing with yourself. Stop playing with yourself. The jealousy that Satan has towards man, the original man made in the image of the highest, is the same jealousy that the children of Lucifer have towards the original man and woman. Genetically, spiritually, that hatred has survived even to this day. You see it. Everything is a deflection. It all is a deflection. So listen to this. It says, from the day that you were created, you were with the cherub, and I set you on the holy mountain of Elua, and you were in the midst of the stones of the fire. And you were faultless in your days from the day that you were created until the iniquity was found in you, and the abundance of the merchandise that you filled your storehouses with, you have sinned. Therefore, you've been cast down from the mountain of Elua. But it also says that this creature was sitting at the highest of the Most High, sitting at the highest. And right here in verse 13, it says, you are in the delight of the paradise of Elua. The Garden of Eden is also described in the Septuagint as the Garden of Delight or the Garden of Paradise. So right here in verse 13 of Ezekiel 28, it says that he was in the delight of the paradise of Elua. So he saw the creation. He saw the work of Elua. And he was fine until he saw man and woman. He didn't like that. That is what sent him over the edge. And just as just as he was jealous, and just as he felt that way seeing the man and woman, so do his children also feel that way. It's all so deep. Now, the serpent was cursed to crawl on its belly. Well, is it possible that this serpent was a winged creature? Now, in Mayan civilization, they have this god who is called Kukulkan. And you can see these pyramids here of these ancient deities. Now, I personally believe these pyramids were definitely built by giants. They have images of giants in their ancient depictions of them building the city. But this serpent deity is also connected to America, which is called the land of the plum serpent. And let's look at that real quick. And we looked at the serpent in the Vatican. And we can kind of see how all these things are starting to connect. Look at that. Amaruka, land of the plum serpent. And here you can see the serpent next to the Pope. So what is it with the serpent symbolism? They're telling us something here. They are sending messages to us, y'all. Look at that. Amaruka, land of the Holy Cross. Amaruka, land of the feathered serpent. Kukulkan, right here. That's their god. Amaruka, land of the plum serpent, United States of Amaruka. So this is what I'm talking about. All of our people who have attached to this nation. You have attached to the serpent. All right? Look at that. Here's another depiction. This is another example of the land of the free, Amaruka. All right? How do y'all know that? Look at this. Human sacrifices to the plum serpent. The serpent society. Look at this. My. Now let's look at that Statue of Liberty real quick. And we'll compare that to the statue of Lucifer. It makes perfect sense why America enslaved us. When you look at how it connects to ancient Egypt that enslaved us, it connects to Rome that enslaved us, it connects to Babylon that enslaved us, it connects to the serpent. It makes perfect sense. These are just, America is really just a combination of all these kingdoms and all of our oppressors. That's really what it is. Now look at this Statue of Liberty right here. Actually, here's a better image. If you look at this image right here, family, notice how the Statue of Liberty is often depicted as being chained. Look at this. Chained to this. All right. Now we know that the angels were chained into the depths of the earth. This is all about the fallen rebellion. And right here, you can see Lucifer, and it's almost in the exact same pose as the image of Lucifer from 1797. And this was drawn. This is also another image of Lucifer right here. All right. And you can see it connects to these gods, the outstretched hand. All right. Superman is Lucifer. Superman. Yeah, Superman. Clark Kent. That is Lucifer. Thor, Lucifer. Iron Man, Lucifer. These are the gods of renown, the men of renown, the Nephilim, rebranded. All right. But you can see that there's a similar pose here, at least with these two right here. Even the way the face looks. And you can look, when you look at the Statue of Liberty, you can see that it kind of looks kind of androgynous in a way. Some people have said the Statue of Liberty is actually a man. But if you look at Lucifer, he ain't got no beard. He looks androgynous. So you could look at this as a man or a woman. And that's what paganism is. Paganism is a blending of the male and female. Yahuwah, he makes a distinction. But paganism blends it all together. Gotham is NYC, yes. Yeah, but Superman actually is the devil. That is actually the Aryan God man. Let me show you this. So if you look at Ubermensch, I've talked about Ubermensch many times on here, especially Fallen Angels and the Pale Rebellion. We talked about that. But Ubermensch is the Aryan God man, all right? Or what they call the Overman, okay? And that is what this New World Order is. The New World Order is the desire by using transhumanism for the fallen seed who are having low birth rates to blend with technology to become perfected godlike men, all right? And that is the Ubermensch, and that would be this right here, all right? And this is what they're trying to build up to, you know, the Aryan God man, you know? The Ubermensch, Superman, or the post-human rise about the herd morality through a will to power, judged by different standards. Future lay the masses, future lay with superhuman abilities. Yeah. So this is what they're trying to build up to. And look at right here. You can see the Ubermensch, but what do you see? Lucifer. Lucifer. Well, a depiction of the devil right here. So I want y'all to understand this stuff is all connected to the children of the devil. Ubermensch, the Superman. All right? That's what this is. That's what the New World Order is. It is this. And they're going to use technology to reach this state. So when Lucifer said, "You shall be as gods," he was trying to entice the original woman to want to obtain godhood and to tempt her with that. Started with the knowledge, the forbidden knowledge. You shall be as gods, knowing good and evil, knowing, being all knowing as the Most High. And so with this technology and this AI integration, the fallen seed are in communication with these disembodied spirits of the Nephilim. And that's how they're getting this technology. And the S on the chest stands for God Shamash, God of the Sun and Justice. Yes, that, but also, sister, good to see you, Talisha. Yeah, good to see you, sis. Shalom to you. Also, it ties to Satan, That S also ties to Satan. Matter of fact, I got a video here that actually reminds me. I have a video here I'm going to show you guys really quickly of a sister breaking it down. This African sister breaking it down pretty well. Let's go ahead and watch this. I wasn't actually going to show this in this video, but hey, you know what? Since we're talking about it, it makes perfect sense. I might as well, right? All right, let me pull this up here. Yes, so we're going to pull up this video, and she's going to kind of explain how Superman actually is Satan, literally the devil. Now, some people may disagree, but just take a look.
Lucifer, and you all have been praising a fallen angel in disguise. You don't believe me? I will show you. Now, let's start with the origin story they fed you blind cows. Superman fell from Krypton, or should I say heaven, a shining advanced celestial world, a world filled with light, glory, and beings of great power. Now tell me, does that not sound familiar? Is that not the same biography Lucifer submitted in Isaiah 14? Remember, Lucifer is also known as the morning star. You don't ask yourself, what is the morning star? The sun. And where does Superman draw his power from? The sun. Illuminati confirmed. Some of you might think I'm rapping, but the sun sounds like the sun, which is also the name of Jesus, whom Superman's whole identity copies. You think the S on his chest stands for Superman? Blind cow. Let me expose the alphabet you thought you knew. You might think the S means savior or son, but it means serpent and it means Satan. The devil doesn't hide his signature. It is always hidden in plain sight. Clark Kent has the most useless cover-up known to man.
Exactly.
Glasses. How can a pair of glasses hide a demonic celestial being? I'll tell you how. Spiritual blindness. When some of you blind cows cannot even discern satire, how can you discern a fallen alien demigod? Baby Kal-El fell from the sky and crash landed in Smallville, Kansas, a quiet rural town surrounded by farmland, barns.
Yes, I was just about to say that, Ak. Yes, the Saiyans, the Aryan race, the Saiyans. Same thing with, I don't know if y'all have ever watched this show or read the comics, bro, but Invincible. Okay, the Viltrumites, a perfect race of supermen. All right, and you know, the racial purity, and as a matter of fact, Omni-Man, who was like the evil villain from it, which is like he presents himself as good, but he's actually evil. You got to watch the show. It's good. It's on if you like superhero stuff. I don't like superhero stuff too much, but that's one show I do rock with. So Omni-Man, he actually has the whole, you know what I'm saying, handlebar mustache Hitler thing going on with it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the Saiyans with the blue eyes and the blonde hair. Yes, man. My people know what it is. Cause let's pull it up here. Let's look at the Saiyans real quick. The Saiyans. All right. And also, we're gonna get a little bit more deeper into it, because we're gonna talk about how these shows and these movies be revealing the truth to you. Okay. So what happens when they go Super Saiyan, right? The blonde hair. The blue eyes, right, family? You see the blonde hair and the blue eyes every time they go Super Saiyan. All right, let me pull that up here. All right. And they also came from planet Namek. All right. So they're not from the Earth, but they have these super abilities and they're able to push themselves to these heightened abilities, right? So we can see the symbolism when it comes to this Aryan race, this alien race, this race who is not from the Earth, but have these super abilities and this super high technology. All right. So we have that. Now let's look at something else here. How many of you guys are familiar with Harry Potter? Yes, I know it is witchcraft, but before I was in the truth, obviously, my auntie, let me give y'all a little story. My auntie used to work with these white women. She was the only black woman. She was a beautician, the only black woman that worked with a bunch of white women. And of course, these white women, they see me, you know, as a Christian little boy, you know what I'm saying? And they told me about Harry Potter, right? Because, you know, they children was into it and all of that. And I ended up getting into it until my mom saw what it really was. And she's all like, don't be, you know, why they teaching him all about this? And, you know what I'm saying? You know, my mom was a praying woman. So when she saw something about sorcery and witchcraft, she was like, nah, I don't want him watching that. I don't want him reading that. You know, shout out to my mom, man. My mom is a praying woman, bro. She was like, oh, no, he ain't going to look at that. He ain't going to look at that. Actually, yeah. Was it Namek? No, it was the planet Vegeta, I think. I'm sorry. Namek was where they, was it Namek? I'm sorry. I haven't watched DBZ in so long. You feel what I'm saying? But I think it was Namek. But anywho, so Harry Potter, if you look at Harry Potter, even, you have a bloodline, all right? The reptilian serpent bloodline, right? So, for example, if you look at Lucius Malfoy, that's the father of Draco Malfoy, and they are from the house of Slytherin, which is what the house of Voldemort is connected to. Now, let's look at Lucius Malfoy's father in Harry Potter. His father also looks like the fallen seed. He has very Nordic Aryan features, blonde hair, blue eyes. This is him right here. Okay. Now he looks down upon anybody who does not have the pure bloodline of this serpent bloodline, which is why he's of the house of Slytherin, which is like the evil one. But they're all evil, all sorcery, you know what I'm saying? So again, you see the Nazi symbolism or the Aryan symbolism of this guy with the blonde hair and the blue eyes. Kind of looks like a fallen angel, right? Then you have his son, who would be Draco Malfoy. Draco goes back to Dracula. All right. Draco, and if you in the Greek, translates to Dracula. All right. And we're gonna get to Dracula very soon too. Not this next week, not this week's episode on the Nephilim, but in the following next week's episode of the Nephilim, we're gonna be talking about the Dracula, because that's also Nephilim stuff. So we'll get to that too. So Draco Malfoy is his son, and he also has that same look. And like I said, they take pride in the blonde hair and the blue eyes, the fallen seed look. You feel what I'm saying? So you could connect so many dots with this, y'all. You could connect so many dots with this, but we're going to move on. We still have more to look at here. So let me pull up this next thing. We talked about the Ubermensch. We talked about the, dragon bloodline or the serpent bloodline that's depicted in some of these films like Harry Potter, even with the Saiyans. And also, let me show you Invincible as well. Now, they don't have blonde hair, but if you look at Omni-Man, he has the whole Hitler mustache thing going on. You know what I'm saying? And his son is actually mixed. He breeded with an Earth woman. Like I said, he's an alien. He's a Viltrumite that comes from another planet. And what they do is they go and colonize other planets, overtake it. And if they give themselves over to the Viltrumite Empire, the Viltrumite give them advanced technology, and they go to war for them or whatever, but they have to become slaves to the Viltrum Empire. So this race of these aliens, which is his Omni-Man, he's like one of the great Viltrum, fighters. They go around, colonize other planets of other races of beings, and they end up making them agree to become slaves, and they take over the planet. And in exchange, they offer them technology. Do you see how all of this stuff just like connects, bro? I mean, bro, there should be no doubt, like at this point. You feel me? There just can't be at this point. All right, so let me pull up this next thing. Now, I'm going to show you guys something else here. This is another video, and we're talking about the red-haired giants. Take a look at this. I'm going to let somebody else describe them to you.
You were called into a very remote section of Afghanistan because a patrol had basically gone missing.
Exactly.
Okay.
And there's no villages around for miles.
Right.
Like very remote. Yeah, very remote. So we flew in. To about 4 kilometers. We're hiking through the same area where they were supposed to make one of their checkpoints, one of their relics. And before we left, there was all kinds of what happened with the ambush. That was even odd because at point of ambush, you need to call for maybe close air support, something, okay? There was no calls made. You just often.
Yes, I am aware that Prince Charles, or King Charles now, is a descendant of Vlad the Impaler. I know he openly admitted it. I've played it like several times on this show. I'm fully aware of that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play that real quick. To those who don't know, yes, he is a descendant of the Nephilim. They all are. You know what I'm saying? They are all descendants of these fallen bloodlines, and they're proud of that. They have no shame in that whatsoever. They are actually very proud of their bloodline. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly why they do the interbreeding and all of this other stuff, because they want to protect it. So let me go ahead and show y'all that real quick. Give me a second here. But yeah, he openly admits that. He's not ashamed of it at all. Literally, he's not ashamed of it. Let's see here. All right, let me pull that one up. Give me a second. If you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button. Be sure to check out the Nephilim playlist. I have tons and tons of videos on this subject. You know what I'm saying? And you can learn a lot, you know, by checking out the playlist. I don't have it linked below, but if you're watching the replay, it should be in the pinned comment below, and you'll be able to kind of check out all the stuff we have here. All right, check it out. Here we go.
Prince Charles, who can trace his ancestry back to Romania's dark and distant past.
The genealogy shows that I'm descended from Vlad the Impaler, you see. So I do have a bit of a stake in the country.
As it were.
And that's exactly why all these vampires are always seen as pale. They're always extremely pale. They can't handle the sun. Hello, somebody. Can y'all think of a certain people that also describes in Transylvania? Yeah, we're going to get deep into that in this Nephilim series as we keep going, just not today. But yes, I'm aware we will definitely get into the vampires and all of that stuff, Dracula and all of that, you know, when we get there. You feel me? But yeah, Barak Yahuwah. Now, let's get back to this video here about the giants.
So we're coming down a mountainside, and it was a nice path, goat path. As we bent around this corner, you could see this opening of the cave. There's a cave as we're coming around. And then I see there's a lot of rocks, which is another oddity, and then bone matter. I'm not close enough to identify what kind of bones, but I did see something I knew was a piece of our communications equipment. So instantly, we're thinking ambush, maybe animal, you know, could be anything. And there was enough room in front of this cave, but it had a sheer drop-off. But there was enough room that we actually got into a decent dispersal in case of ambush.
You see something coming out of the cave, and it's moving with a speed and agility that catches you off guard.
Everybody. And he comes out. It was a man at least 12 to 15 feet in height. This is a monster. Red beard, then his hair was long past the shoulder, a scarlet red, and Dan runs at him and starts shooting to broke all of us into the reality. As it was so
now your training is kicking.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Muscle memory, complete muscle memory.
Okay.
While Dan.
So what he is describing is this pale-skinned, red-haired giant came out of a cave in Afghanistan and was attempting to fight them. Now, you have to also remember that the Guanche giants with the red hair and the blue eyes and the blonde hair were also described as troglodytes, cave dwellers. What other people do you know dwell in caves? Do y'all see how this all connects? Do y'all see how this all fits together? Yeah, that is the Kandahar giant. To those who in the chat who know, shout out to y'all that know about it. But there are many, many instances of these red hair, blue-eyed, blonde-haired giants, pale skin, all around the world. Even when you think about like in Europe, when you think about like the Celtic people, you see the red-haired giants like with the Jack and the Beanstalk. You see it in Nordic folklore. You see those ice giants in like Siberia and stuff like that in, you know, folklore. A lot of this stuff is true. The leprechauns, if you watched, you got to shout out to the people who just came in now. We showed a little bit of a video earlier where there were these children called the moon-eyed children that were red-haired little pygmies, which is where the leprechauns came from, who are also descendants of giants, which are connected to the Celtic people and the Irish people. It's all so deep, y'all. Yeah, the Sasquatch is the wild man or the beast man. You know what I'm saying? They have all these, like, even the Yeti, the Sasquatch, the wild man, Bigfoot, beast man, the hairy man, the hairy beast man is the Caucasian. It's the Neanderthal. The Neanderthal came from the fallen angels. And that's the connection that's not made when we have these discussions, which is what I'm trying to help you understand. But let's keep watching and we're going to move on.
Is moving at him. Another bro of mine's laying down fire, and I start firing.
Hey, did I see Bianca in here? I think I saw her earlier. I wanted to shout her out. I'm sorry. I wanted to shout you out, and the chat was moving so fast. Haven't seen you in a while, sis, but Barak Yahuwah, thank you for showing up. Yeah, I saw her in here earlier. I should have highlighted her comments so I can make sure I shouted her out. Oh, there she go. I heard the Statue of Liberty. I heard the Statue of Liberty is a deity, and the Starbucks deity is the same deity of the Marine Kingdom. Shake my head. Yeah, the Starbucks deity is the mermaids or the sirens. As a matter of fact, I found a video of a man who said he caught one on camera. But I'm not going, and it looks really, really real too. I'm not going to get to that though because we don't have time. But shout out to you, sis, Barak Yahuwah, and maybe at some point we can get more into the Marine Kingdom because it has a lot to do with Atlantis and stuff like that. That Little Mermaid film that came out where they had a black woman playing Ariel. Yeah. Red hair, blue eyes. Yeah. Well, at least in the original. But we'll get to that a little bit later. But shout out to you, sis. Thank you for joining with us today. All right, let's keep going.
He skewers day. He's now got him
shalom, sis.
On this pike. It went 2. And he's still got him. And he's coming after more. We all just clicked in. I don't know what it was, but I remember we're all like, shoot him in the face. Shoot him in the face. And all weapons components were in 4s. We had 308s. And we had Sarah's distance. This is sounding longer than it took. We're talking 30 seconds. Dead. Okay. And why is a good man, probably one of the best men I know, now dead. Before I'd left, they were already starting what they call a 9-line, which is a medevac request. They're sending out a medevac request, then all of a sudden it's not a medevac request. All of a sudden we had a helicopter show.
All right. Barak Yahuwah. All right. So, as you can see, you have this red-haired giant that they were fighting against, and I was in Afghanistan. But like I said, all around the world, they are finding these red-haired, blonde-haired giants. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you another video, and this is in the Canary Islands that they found these red-haired, blue-eyed giants. Let me pull that up. Actually, no. Let me show you. Yeah. Let me show you this one first.
We're in the Museo Canario in Las Palmas de Gran Canaria, and here they have several of the mummies from the Aboriginal population, from the Guanches, as they are widely known these days, although technically Guanches is a term that mainly was used for the original inhabitants, the Aboriginal inhabitants of Tenerife. So the ones from Gran Canaria were called the Canarios. And here we have the wrapping. This was in leather, usually goat's leather, and the here and up here we have these. So here in Las Palmas de Gran Canaria, there is one.
All right, so this is one of the mummies. I'm going to show you guys some of these skulls here. I mean, I've shown you guys the skull heads before, but I just want to show you some of these ones with the red hair. You can see that there's clearly remnants of it. Let me and I find that to be so interesting that it's still so very much intact after all these years of preservation. But they also use the Egyptian forms of preservation. So these are these beings. These are the skulls of the giants with the red hair and the blue eyes that they found. And obviously, they could tell that the eyes would have been blue by DNA testing, which they have been doing. But they're finding giants that look like this all around the world, y'all. Even in Peru. Let me pull that up. Red-haired giants in Peru. They're finding these like in caves. They're finding them in underground taverns. Somebody asked, how did the giants survive the flood? There's 2 reasons that they did. The bloodline survived, and like I said, I'll do a video on it at some point. But they also did go underground as well. All right, let's see here. like right here. But look at the cranium though. Let me show you this. Look at the cranium on this one. The cone head cranium, y'all. They got the chrome dome cranium, gang. Look at that red hair right there. See, this gives us a clue of this mutation. And we can connect it to the fallen seed because we know that this is a recessive gene. Look at the size of the head or the skull. Now let's look at some images here that I have of some of these skulls of these cone head people. All right, so here's the first one. And this is proof of these fallen beings that once lived and were worshipped as gods. And then you have their direct descendants. And then you also have people who would participate in rituals to get their head shaped like this, which you see in some African populations with these type of, skull shapes. We talked about the Rothschilds earlier. There's one of him. And you can see how now, but even when you look at those eye sockets, look how big those eyes would have to be to fill those eye sockets. Like, forget about the skull. Look at the eye sockets, y'all. That's crazy. I can't even imagine. Here's another one. Let me put some of these out. All right, let me show you another one. All right, so you have this one here. Wait, hold on. I got to close out some of these images. I got too many open. They really do kind of stack up there. Okay. All right, so let me show you this next one. My bad. I had to close out some of these images. I got too many of them open. All right, here's another one right here. Look at that baby. Yikes. But see, this is evidence that there has been some DNA corruption, that there has been some sort of genetic tampering that has taken place. And they've gone, very far to kind of hide this. The Smithsonian Institute and stuff like that, they have gone to hide about these giant bones that they've been finding. They're trying to get you to believe dinosaurs were real when those are really dragon bones. Those are not dinosaur bones. Those are dragon bones. There are different types of dragons. Even the scriptures prove that there is dragons. There were dragons and there are dragons. And the Most High did create dragons. All throughout the scripture, you see dragons. Yeah, it's talking about actual dragons. So no, those are not dinosaur bones. Those are dragon bones. They just, the children of Lucifer, they just do everything and they can to cover up the truth. Why you think they removed the book of Enoch? It reveals too much about them. All they do is cover up the truth, bro. All right, let's keep going. I got a few more I'm going to show y'all. We'll move on. Now, I found also here some images. Statues of giants eating babies. Look at this one. This one is in Spain. You have this creature eating these babies. And I would assume this would liken to the Cananistic practices of child sacrifice to gods like Moloch. Crazy stuff. You do find a lot of images of these giant beings consuming babies or being very unruly with them. Look at this. I don't know who the heck would want to show this kind of imagery or display this type of imagery publicly, but it just goes to show you they're proud of their wickedness. They have no shame. They have zero shame. Here's another one. Look at this. And this was kind of disturbing. Just throwing a bunch of babies around. Yikes. Now, since we're talking about statues and we're talking about Spain, I might as well show you this. Now, to those of our people who know our history, you know that it was many Yahudim in Spain. And we got expelled in 1492. Well, there's a very interesting statue in Spain. Madrid, Spain, to be specific. And I've shown this before, but since we're talking about this, might as well show you again. It is called Fuente del Angel Caído. And what is it? It is a statue of a fallen angel with a serpent around its legs. And it's called Fuente del Angel Caído. The entire fountain is 7 meters high. The statue itself measuring 2.65 meters. Its diameter is 10 meters long and is surrounded by a parterre. The sculpture is placed at its center on top of an octagonal pedestal, which is decorated on each side by figures representing demons, okay, gripping fishes, lizards, and snakes. Currently, the fountain lies in the middle of a roundabout named after the statue in the Bueno Retiro Park, giving its name to one of the park's entrances, too. It stands at 666 meters above sea level. The children of Lucifer do not hide their past. They do not. They know what they're doing. That is their daddy. And they're proud of it. So I'm proud of my dad. I'm proud of my heavenly father, Yahuwah, man. So why would I stop talking about us being Yasharal? Why would I stop talking about Hamashiach being a Negro, bro? I love my father. You love your daddy? I love my dad. It's just my dad is going to overpower your dad because my dad created your dad. He didn't create you, but he created your dad. And your dad created you. But my dad is going to destroy your dad. And my dad going to destroy you. But you know what I'm saying? I know it sounds funny when I say it like that, but let's keep going. So, continuing on here. There is a polyester resin replica of Belver's work at the Museum of the Real Academia del Bellas Artes de San Fernando. And if I butchered that, I apologize. In Madrid, where details can be better appreciated. So you literally have an image of a fallen angel. And then right here, you have demons at the bottom of it. Hybrids. All right? Demons at the very bottom with the horns and all of that. My dad is greater than your dad. He is, for real. Barak Yahuwah, the highest. So you have demons these demons on this fountain. And at the very top, you have a fallen angel right inside of Spain. It doesn't get much more clear than that, y'all. It doesn't get much more direct and in your face than that. Somebody said, can white people be saved? Yahuwah will not save anybody he did not create. The children of Lucifer, asking me if the children of Lucifer can be saved is like asking me, can Lucifer have a second chance? What is written shall be. But I will be happy to provide scriptural context to that answer. So let's go ahead and go to WordPress real quick. I have my blog pulled up here. We're going to look at this scripture here real quickly. And I haven't published this post yet. So just, I'm working on it because I'm going to do a study on, can the fallen seed be saved? Because I said that I would. I just haven't finished it yet. But I'm going to go ahead and pull this up here, and we're going to look at this here. All right. So the scriptures say, and we're going to look at this. Let me pull this up here on the blog. Give me a second. Load it up. Okay. All right. So the scriptures say, what is it going to be the fate of the children of the Nephilim? Well, let's look at the scriptures and let's see what they say. It's not what I say. It's what the scriptures say. I mean, I just look at it like this. I mean, the Bible says, what does it profit a person to gain the whole world and lose their soul, right? Well, it seems to me that white people have gained the whole world. So if you gain the whole world, you don't get the kingdom that is to come. That wouldn't make any sense. The reason why white people are able to do what they're able to do is because they have gained the world. The world is given into the hands of the wicked, as the scriptures say, right? So if you believe in a righteous Alua, then you should believe the wicked who have reigned for so long, they need to be wiped out so the righteous can prevail. So the meek shall inherit the earth. The scriptures say the first shall be last and the last shall be first. A righteous retribution is that wicked seed no longer reigning in the earth and the righteous seed to reign. That's what the Bible teaches, but white supremacy doesn't like to talk about it. So let's look at this. Dreams vision of Enoch and his intercession for the fallen angels, and this is 1 Enoch chapter 12. Before these things, Enoch was hidden, and one of the children of the people knew by what he was hidden where he was, and his dwelling place as well as his activities were with the watchers and the holy ones, and so were his days. And I, Enoch, began to bless Yahuwah of the mighty one of the king of the universe. At that moment, the watchers were calling me, and they said, Enoch, scribe of righteousness, go and make known to the watchers of heaven who have abandoned the high heaven, the holy eternal place, and have defiled themselves with women as their deeds move the children of the world, and have taken unto themselves wives. They have defiled themselves with great defilement upon the earth. Verse 5 says, neither will there be peace unto them, nor the forgiveness of sin. It says it, let me read it again. Neither will there be peace unto them, nor the forgiveness of sin. It is a wrap. There is no salvation for the fallen seed, the children of Lucifer, the so-called Aryans, the so-called Indo-Europeans, the so-called white man. There is no salvation for them. So just accept that. That is my advice. If you are white, you just need to accept you've been able to run this world. You've been able to kill. You've been able to colonize. You've been able to destroy. Well, there's a righteous Alua who's going to destroy you because you are of your father, the devil. Now, speaking of 666, I found this to be interesting as well. Let's go to the book of Enoch real quick. Enoch 6. We'll start at the first Enoch 6 real quick. We're going to start there. Then we're going to pull up another preset. This is so weird. And that's why it's like with the numerology, they put the truth in your face, like using like numerology and like occultic symbolism and stuff like that. This is going to blow your mind, y'all. Check this out. Hold on a minute. Let me switch this to the Septuagint. Okay. All right. So first, let's look at Enoch 6. We're going to look at first Enoch 6. And then we're going to look at a few other verses to corroborate that. Because this is something I had recently discovered. And I was just like, well, that's actually pretty interesting. So let me just get this set up here. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, got that one. Then I got to go to Jude 1:6. Okay. So when we talk about the 666 or 666, or, the number that is associated with the beast of Revelations 13, right? We talk about, obviously that being the number of the beast. Well, there's a very interesting concept of 666 right in the Bible. And that's what I'm saying. When I think about the renewed covenant or the New Testament, the heathens definitely put this in here on purpose, because it's like they're almost trying to like show you, you know what I'm saying, the truth right there in your face, but like do it in code. So hold on a minute here. I'm trying to find the right verse. Ephesians. Where's Jude at? Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's look at Enoch 6 first, and then we're gonna go to the next verse and then the next verse. And I'm gonna show you how this ties to the whole 666 thing, which is pretty crazy. Okay, so here we go. So this is First Enoch chapter 6. Let's read this real quick. The fall of the angels, and it reads, in those days when the children of man had multiplied, it happened that there were born unto them handsome and beautiful daughters, and the angels, the children of heaven, saw them and desired them, and they said unto one another, come and let us choose wives for ourselves from among the daughters of man, and begat children. And Samiazah, being their leader, said unto them, I fear that perhaps you will not consent that this deed should be done, and I alone will become responsible for this great sin. But they all responded to him, let us all swear an oath and bind everyone among us by a curse, not to abandon this suggestion, but to do this deed. Then they all swore together and bound one another by the curse, and they were altogether 200, and they descended into Ardos, which is the summit of Hermon, and they called the Mount Armon, for they swore and bound one together by a curse. And their names are as follows, Samiazah, the leader of Arachab, Ramaal, Tamaal, Danyal, all of the angels. These are their chiefs of 10 and all the others with them. So First Enoch 6 talks about the fall of the angels. That's a 6 right there. Okay, we're talking about 666, so that's a 6 right there. Then when you go to Genesis 6, you also read about the fall of the angels. So that's another 6. Let's read that. Genesis 6. And it came to pass when men began to be numerous upon the earth and daughters were born to them, that the sons of Elua, having seen the daughters of men, they were beautiful, took to themselves wives of all whom they chose. And Yahuwah said, my spirit shall certainly not remain among these men forever, because they are flesh, but their days shall be numbered 120 years. Now the giants were up on the earth in those days, and after that were the sons of Elua, went unto the daughters of men, they bore children unto them. Those were the giants of the old, the men of renown. So you have Genesis 6 and you have First Enoch 6 that talk about these fallen angels. Well, our last witness for the third 6 is Jude chapter 1 verse 6. And what does it say? And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he has reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. 666. First Enoch 6, Genesis 6, and Jude 1:6. So I'm saying it's like they know, like they put the truth right there in your face, right there. So it's like the 666 connected to the devil seed of the devil children. I'm just like, it makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. Wow. They put the truth right in your face, man. They really, really, truly do. So that's going to be it for me today, family. We're going to stop there. I just kind of wanted to preface a little bit of this information here. Just want to preface a little bit of it. Actually, hold up. Let me show you one more thing. I have one more thing I want to show you, fam. One more thing, actually, before we go. Crazy stuff. Crazy, crazy work, y'all. All right. I wanted to... Oh, yes. This is the last thing I wanted to show you. So it seems the work people like me, Gates of Holda, and all of our people who are speaking this truth that some people don't like to talk about because they low-key scared to. Let's be honest. Some of our people scared to talk about this because some of them in them strange marriages. Some of them got children with them folk and all of that. So they don't like talking about certain things, right? Well, to those of us who are bold enough to talk about it, it seems like our people are waking up about this, y'all. It seems like our people are waking up about this, y'all. Our people are waking up about this truth. And that's why I say, like, I mean, who gonna be the one to stand out and talk about it and not be afraid and really worry about what everybody else talk about? Because I'm gonna bring it out. I'm not afraid of doing that. Some others might be, but I'm not, because the truth is the truth. I've been passionate about the truth since I came into Yahusha. Why would it be any different now? Why would I change up now? I ain't switching sides. I ain't switching sides. Yekcyr ain't switching sides. All right, y'all. Let me find this video real quick so I can show y'all this real quick, and we're going to get up out of here. What do you mean, our people? Aren't we followers of Christ? First of all, I don't follow Christ. I don't follow the deities of the children of Lucifer. See, that's the problem with Christianity, man. Y'all think this Bible is about Christians. It's not. It has nothing to do with you. It's about the Israelites. But of course, the fallen seed, they have to always write themselves into something that has nothing to do with them. So no, I'm not a follower of Christ. I'm a follower of Yahushua HaMashiach. And Yahushua HaMashiach was sent to who? The lost sheep of Israel. He wasn't sent to the heathen. He wasn't sent to the children of Lucifer. Let's see what the Messiah said out of his own mouth. He didn't say he was sent to the whole world. I know the heathens want you to think that because they wrote that in the scriptures, but the Messiah, he got authority over every man. So what he said is what's true. Let's look at what Messiah said. Matthew 15:24. But he said, I am not sent. I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So you calling the Messiah a liar? He said he sent to the lost sheep of Israel. So what the heck would I be worried about everybody else for? See, the fallen seed kind of came up with this doctrine that they could be saved and they can cleave, but they are the oppressor. What good is the gospel, which is liberation for our people, which is the Negro, the Israelites, not the Christians, not the heathen, not the oppressor, not the descendants of the slave master, but the Israelites that he was sent to? What good is the gospel of liberation if the children of Lucifer gonna be with us when we get liberated? Come on now. Liberation is from our enemies. Has nothing to do with the children of the devil. Absolutely zero to do with the children of the devil. It's liberation from them. We need liberation from y'all. But see, this is the thing Christianity doesn't teach. They teach we're all the same. Everybody can serve the Most High. Messiah died for the whole world. These are all lies that have been given and passed around that are not true. And it's because them folk have been teaching it. And the only reason they taught it is so they could write themselves out of judgments. Write themselves out of destruction because they hate dealing with destruction. They hate being held accountable. But their time is up. And they have to accept that. And I mean, chances are they're not going to. But whether you're going to or not, it doesn't matter. It's over. So let me go ahead and show y'all this video of our people waking up. This black woman, shout out to this sister, man. She gave this white boy that work. So I'm assuming she's an Uber driver from what the video shows. She's an Uber driver, and she was talking to this white. I guess he's white. I guess he sounds like a white boy. I don't know if he is white, but she was talking to him about what the white man is and how they came from the devil, how they're the children of Lucifer, you know what I'm saying? How they're the beasts of the field, they're the Neanderthal man, the beast man, the fallen angels. She came out with all them facts. So I think other, that's what I'm saying. Keep sharing the videos, keep talking about the truth because our people are waking up. Here we go. Shout out to this sister, man. She gave that boy that work.
He created the heavens and earth. He said he did a greater sun to rule by the day, a greater greater light to rule by the day, and a lesser light, that's in Genesis, first Bible, first book, and a lesser light to rule by the night. That's the sun and moon. Why would God give us a sun that's going to burn our skin?
Exactly.
They don't belong here. They're not authentic to this land.
Do you think they're like alien?
They got that same DNA, because guess what? The aliens are fallen angels.
Oh, what? The aliens are fallen angels? What? What? Hey, our people are waking up, bro. And no, listen. You cannot tell me white people are created by the Most High. He created the luminary on the 4th day. He created the sun, bro. If they are damaged by the sun, they're not supposed to be here on this earth. They are walking abominations, bro. It's okay to say that because it's true. We only bring out facts. The whole reason why they burn in the sun is because they're not made by him. You mean to tell me that the Most High created a luminary for this earth, and these people literally go outside and get burned and damaged by it while we absorb that light? Come on, man. They are not his children. They're not created by him. They are the fallen seed. The sooner we all accept that, the better off we'll be. We can live in peace. We can live in tranquility because we know their destruction is written. We know that the Yahuwah will rid the world of them. He will get rid of them. So we wonder how we get rid of the white man. How do we fix the world? We return to the commandments of Yahuwah, and we let that day of Yahushaphat come. We let Joel and Obadiah come to pass. We let Isaiah 14 come to pass. Yahuwah said they shall have no peace, no peace, no peace, no peace. And that's why you see in the fall of their kingdom. That's why you see them crying and whining and angry. And it's hilarious, bro. I find it so funny. Let's keep watching.
Their forefathers is fallen angels. They related, yeah.
That makes sense.
They're related.
Because they don't have like the same, they just don't have like the same sense of humanity as everybody else.
They're not human. You can't teach them to be human when they're not human.
I agree. I 100%.
Okay, so I guess this is one of them fallen seed individuals trying to say that that's talking about the Watchers and not the descendants of the Nephilim. That's actually false. That's actually false. Their children will be destroyed too. And it says that they will watch their children be destroyed. But since you want to say that, I'm going to go ahead and destroy that doctrine right now. Matter of fact, we will use this evidence, and we're also going to look at future prophecy. And we're going to prove that the so-called whites, the children of Lucifer, will be totally wiped out. All right? But let's just go ahead and prove that real quick, because I know that they're going to try to cope, but we always have the scriptures to destroy the cope. Because they can't handle the truth, but it's okay. I'm just going to prove it, and then I'm going to be done. It's not just the Watchers, it's their children as well, because their children are abominations, not created by the Most High. That's why y'all have the genes of the Nephilim. That's why y'all have the Neanderthal DNA. That's why when it says in the scriptures that he's going to burn people and scorch them with the sun, who's that? That's you. Why do you think your birth rates are low? He doesn't love you. As a matter of fact, he hates you. But let's just read this. He can't love what he didn't make. He can't love what he didn't create. Therefore, he can't save what he didn't create. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So let's read this. Bind Azel hand and foot and throw him in the darkness. He made a hole in the desert, which was Dudadel, and cast him there. And he threw him on a rugged and sharp rocks. And he covered his face in order that he may not see light, and in order that he may be sent unto the fire to the great day of judgment, and give life to the earth which the angels have corrupted. And he will proclaim life for the earth, that is life given to her. And all the children of the people will not perish through all the secrets of the angels, which they taught their sons. And the whole earth has been corrupted by Azazel's teaching of his own actions, and write upon him all sin. And to Gabriel, the children said, proceed against the bastards. That means the mixed children, the Nephilim, the non-Adamic people. mixed with the daughters of Cain and the fallen angels. And we already proven the children of Cain are white. Hold on, y'all. We have already proven that Cain was marked with the leprous pigment. My bad. Okay. We've already proven that Cain was marked with a leprous pigment. Proceed against the bastards, that's the Nephilim, and the reprobates, and against the children of adultery, and destroy the children of adultery, and expel the children of the watchers from among the people, and send them against one another, so that they may be destroyed in that fight. For the length of days have they not. The length of the days have they not. The length of days have they not. They will beg you for everything for their fathers on behalf of themselves, because they hope to live an eternal life. So their children hope to live an eternal life. They hope to live an eternal life. But guess what? They're not getting one. Now let's prove that Yahuwah is not going to give them an eternal life. Let's just prove that real quick with statistics, of course. Yekcyr with the statistics. I know some people don't like the truth, bro, but Yekcyr always has receipts. So they shall not have an eternal life. Okay. All right. Well, let's see if we see some proof of that. Fragility rates, low fragility rates. Let's look at these numbers here. Wow. Africa's doing just fine. Look at those booming numbers. But look at Europe. Oh, my. Huh. But that's just one witness. The Bible says 2 or more witnesses, right? Okay, fair enough. 2 more witnesses. I got you. United States low birth rates for whites from 1985 to 2022. Oh my, what a decline. Oh my. Yahuwah said no eternal life. None. So you said it's the watchers. But there's a people here on this earth who seem to have steadily declining rates. Let's look at some more, yeah? Yeah. What we got right here? Fertility rates across Europe. Oh, my. That red means you done. Cooked. You shall not have eternal life, and it proves that the word of the highest is true. And this is exactly why white people are in power right now. They want to try to use this transhumanism to attempt to save themselves. But Yahuwah said, not so. He doesn't love you. He does not. And it's not me saying it because I don't like you. It's because the evidence proves it. It proves you are the fallen seed. Shall I continue? U.S. white population declines and Generation Z plus is a minority white. Census shows. And you guys are actually speeding up the process in actuality, because y'all are unaliving yourselves. You're depressed. You're lonely because your women don't want you. Huh? Is that why your suicide rates are so high? Is that why you're banging yourself in the head? Because your women don't want you. They know how, weak you are, how fragile you are, how lacking in masculinity and seasoning and rhythm and dance and music and melanin you are. So you're like, I'm going to die alone. My own women don't want me. They'd rather sleep with a dog. They'd rather sleep with Scooby-Doo. Oh, man, it's a wrap. Yo, they are cooked, bro. Y'all are cooked. So I don't get mad when the heathens try to twist the scriptures. I don't get mad when they try to deny what we say, because we have the receipts. And family, this is not a game to, try to prove anything to them. I don't have to prove anything to the fallen seed, but it's just sometimes I got to flex the facts that the Most High has allowed me to know. In my seeking him and me going to the Most High asking specifically about these folk, you know what I'm saying? The Most High had to kind of help me come to some understandings about some things, He had to help me come to some understandings about some things. And so when the Most High revealed it, I'm going to flex that. If I'm going to flex Yahuwah, I'm going to flex Yahusha. I'm going to flex that I keep the Torah. You know what I'm saying? I'm a flex that I follow the commandments. I keep the feast days. You know what I'm saying? Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahusha, Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahusha. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely going to flex the facts too. Because I know they don't like to operate in facts. I know that they don't like to operate in truth and facts and, you know what I'm saying, information that's actually factual, that can be verified, and receipts. They don't believe in receipts because the children of Lucifer, they speak from their own resources. Oh, yes, yes, yes. They speak from their own resources because they create something called imagination. They create something called imagination. Oh, they lie with their statistics and they somehow create this imagination. So sometimes, you know, the black man got to come out and, you know, destroy all of their imagination. Because a lot of what they're, you know what I'm saying and telling is just lies. They don't operate in truth. Nothing about them operates in truth. Their father is the devil. Therefore, all they do is lie. So we can't trust a darn thing that they say. And that's just the truth of the matter. So be mad, stay mad. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Yahuwah's doing it to you. And listen, I don't think you want to start blaspheming and being mad at him because, you know what I'm saying? He could just speed up the process to strike you down right now. Yeah, he's that kind of allure. I mean, we know he doesn't love you. That's why he's not preserving your people. But I don't think you want to blaspheme him while he's even allowing you to still even draw air upon his earth, because you're not even supposed to be here to begin with. That's why the sun is not your friend. You know what I'm saying? The luminary be burning y'all to a crisp. Y'all be going to these little, you know what I'm saying, these little saloons and salons, these saloon salons. Y'all be going to the saloon salons. Yeah. Y'all be going to the saloon salons for real. Trying to look, you know, more melanated, and it's not working for you. I'm saying it's not working for you. The saloon salons to try to look like black people. You got your little melanin injections. It's not working for you. See, it's just projection. That's all it is. That's all it is. But yeah, fam. Thank y'all, bro. Barak Yahuwah for this little teaching. I know it's been kind of long. Dang, it's 12 o'clock. How long I've been on here, y'all? 2 hours and 37 minutes? It hardly seems like it. Hardly seems like it. Hardly seems like it. Family, I don't want you guys to entertain this person. What I've noticed about these individuals is they come into these lives and they just start acting like totally like unaware of what I'm talking about. One thing I've noticed about the children of Lucifer is they love to play stupid. They love to play like they don't know what the heck you're talking about. You could be speaking plain Indo-European English and they act like they don't know what the hell you're talking about. Do not play that game with them, y'all. Just ignore them. I've already explained it. Do not answer his questions anymore. All right? But all in all, if I were to close out this lesson with the perfect meme and the perfect saying, I were to just close it out and just kind of tie it all together and send y'all home, I would just say that their days are numbered and they know it. And we will continue to bring out the truth. Of course, they're going to be mad. They'll always come back and keep trolling. But we just have to kind of learn how to deal with our own and speak the truth to our people, because that's all that matters. Our people are the Negroes, not the Caucasian, not the oppressor. So that's it. Thank y'all again for joining me this evening. I hope that this has been eye-opening for you. Please join me back here Friday. We're going to be doing the next show on the Nephilim series. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all there. And in all, I just want to say the white race is cooked. The fallen seed is cooked. Hold on, let me full screen this. I said the fallen seed is cooked. Cooked. Hold on. Let's get some music for it. Let's do a little bit. Hey, y'all want to dance? Let's, hey, hold on. Hey, come on. Let's do a little bit of a dance, man. Y'all who about to slide, bro? Barack Yahuwah, man. Okay, let's do the little dance. You know what I'm saying? Do the dance. Hey, do the dance. Hey, do the dance. Hey, do the dance. Let's get some music with it. Hey, there we go. Hey. 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 All praises to the Most High, man. All praises. Hey. All praises to the Most High, man. All right, y'all. Yeah. So, be back here on Friday. I think that I'm gonna probably do a show probably a little bit later on. I know I normally do it around 7:30, but I'm thinking maybe possibly I might do it a little earlier than, or maybe a little bit later, maybe like an hour later than I normally do it. We'll just see how it goes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really sure. Like, you guys will know because obviously I'll schedule it as I always do. You know what I'm saying? Barack Yahuwah, just like, you know what I'm saying? Schedule it like I normally do. But I'm still trying to figure out if I want to like actually do it early or not. So, judgment on the heathen, like boom, boom. My bad. Yeah, so I'm thinking I'm probably gonna do it maybe like if I don't do it at 7:30, I will probably do it probably at like 8:30. But I'm just gonna try to get a head start on it and do it, you know, ahead of time to have everything ready. So it'll probably be 7:30. But I just noticed that, see, the problem for me is when I'm trying to figure out times to do these shows, everybody is on a different time frame. I have people in the UK who watch me, people in the continent who watch me, people on the West Coast that watch me, people here in the Midwest, East Coast. So it's all over the place. So it's like I be trying to find a place where I know people are going to be off work. I know people are going to be, you know, at least if they're all, at least be off work or at least be in the preparation stage where they can at least watch me while they're getting ready before Shabbat comes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out something. So that's why sometimes I do push them back a little bit later. I didn't get a notification. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Obviously I've been shadow banned, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Somehow, some way, Yahuwah is still allowing me to work through that. So YouTube does that all the time, bro. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you'll get a notification, sometimes you won't. Sometimes people get unsubscribed. Sometimes people click the bell or they forget to click the bell. They subscribe, but then they forget to click all notifications. So if you did all of that, it's probably just typical shadow banning, man. That's just how it goes. You know what I'm saying? There's really no way around that. And truthfully, the reason why is because it's judgment on the heathen, like boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Judgment on the heathen, like boom, 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 boom. All praises, man. All right, well, I'll see y'all Friday. Like I said, I don't know when exactly it's gonna be, but probably maybe 8:30. I mean, are y'all cool with 8:30? Like, I want to push it to that time because, and not just this Friday, but just in general, because I just want to make sure our people be off work. Because sometimes people, you know, like I said, we on different time frames and stuff, and I just want to make sure people are not missing this information because it's so important. So are y'all cool with 8:30? I know some of our people on the West Coast and just in the UK, the continent, all over, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm on East Coast time. I'm on East Coast time. Somebody asked what time zone. I'm on the Eastern Standard Time. That's the time frame that I'm on, or the time zone I'm on. So everything I do is based upon the East Coast time. So, you know, obviously, shout out to everybody in Cali. They're 3 hours behind me. And then the UK, I don't even remember UK. And then like people in the continent, they're like 7 hours ahead of us. So yeah, man. I gotta figure it out. But do y'all like 8:30? I think 8:30 is cool, bro. I was doing 7:30 because I was trying to accommodate people, but I try to push stuff back because at least people will be able to be off work. You know what I'm saying? Chances are, if I push it, I'm on Eastern Standard Time. You know, it might work better that way. So, Barack Yahuwah, Cali gang, all phrases. All right. Y'all, my Majesty says I'm in Bermuda. I'm in Bermuda, and we are 1 hour ahead of East Coast, 9:30 from me. Okay, cool. Barack Yahuwah. All right, yeah. So 8:30 will work. All right. Before I go, I did a live on Sunday with Pastor Page. Shout out to Pastor Page. We did a live, and we were talking about why we shouldn't be mixing. And I feel like, if anything, bro, when it comes to these videos I do about the fallen seed should be proof why you shouldn't be mixing. If there's anything that you can get from that. Adara, you were there? Are you, hold on, sis, are you my friend on Facebook? I did not know that. I didn't even know you was there. I didn't even know you follow me on Facebook. You gotta say, okay, send me a message on there. Send me a message so I can know. I didn't even know you was following me on there. But Barack Yahuwah. So are you gonna leave this up? Yeah, I'm gonna leave it up. I'm gonna leave it up. I know sometimes I take down lives. The only reason I take them down sometimes is because sometimes if the audio messes up, I don't be wanting it to be up because it just sounds bad, and it just, you know what I'm saying? If I ever decide to podcast the episode, the audio needs to be good. So I will be leaving this up. I won't be taking this down. I'm actually going to add it to the Nephilim series. Matter of fact, let me change the title real quick. So I'll put Satan is Your Daddy, Nephilim series, the Nephilim series, Satan is Your Daddy, Blue Eyes, and the children. No, I'll say the Nordic children of Lucifer. Or nah. Satan is Your Daddy. Satan is Your Daddy. What am I gonna call it? Satan is Your Daddy. Let's just put the blue-eyed demon seed. I like that. The blue-eyed demon seed. The blue-eyed blonde-haired demon seed. Yeah, that works. The blue-eyed blonde-haired demon seed. The Pleiadian Picney. The blue-eyed blonde-haired demon seed. All right, I'll rock with that. That's pretty good. We'll go with that one. I'm not going to be able to change it right now, but when we close this thing out, I will definitely update it to that. So let me just save this. I'll update I can't update it right now for some reason, but as soon as we get off of this thing, I will change the title, and I'm going to add it to the Nephilim series. So it'll be up. If you want to rewatch it because you didn't see the beginning of it, don't trip. I'll have it in the Nephilim series. And the Nephilim series, how I have it set up is every time I do a new video, automatically it adds it to the very beginning of the playlist. So that way you don't have to like go through the playlist like, wait, what's the most recent episode you did? So I'll update the title as soon as we get off of here. All right, y'all. Barack Yahuwah. Yeah, so Pastor Page. Pastor Page, I did a live with him because and you know, I'm just speaking on this, bro, because this is a problem, right? The reason why we bring out this information about the fallen seed is because there's a reason why the Most High said not to mix with them. And I've been trying to prove they're the children of Lucifer, so you understand how to navigate and how to move, living in a world where they're around us and we got to deal with them. personally, and you know what? I told my woman this, bro, and I prayed to the Most High, and I told my mother this as well. Once I relocate, I am never, ever, ever again talking about Babylon's affairs. Like, at least the stuff that's going on and all of that. Like, once, you know what I'm saying, that stage is finally set in motion, I will no longer be discussing all the bull crap and what the fallen seed is doing and all of that. I'm separating. I am delineating from America and everything going on in this crusty ass country. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll still be kind of keeping y'all up to date on certain events, but I'm just not going to be so much invested in all the crap they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because by now, people should be able to see what the hell's going on. You know what I'm saying? I'll be paying attention, of course, but I just won't be as invested in it because it's crazy, bro. It's like, even when I go on social media and YouTube and all these platforms are just not the same anymore. Like, everything is so political, bro. And it's like, sometimes I don't want politics, right? I mean, sometimes I watch it just because it pops up. A lot of times I'm not even looking for this political stuff. It's just constantly showing up on my timeline. And when we talk about vampires briefly this evening, I feel like it's not just blood drinking, it's energy harvesting. It's like every single day, bro. It's just like I go on YouTube, bro, and it's nothing but political videos. And the thing is, I don't even watch or subscribe to these people. Why is it showing up on my ish, bro? I'm not even subscribed to these people. And it's like the people I'm subscribed to ain't even showing up on my feed no more. Then black content creators are being suppressed on this platform. Racism, good old-fashioned racism on YouTube, as it is, as it always been. Matter of fact, I'm seeing a bunch of other content creators, black content creators, saying they're being suppressed, and they don't even make controversial content. Meanwhile, if it's something about Nick Fuentes, he's showing up on my dang feed. I really am tired of Babylon, y'all. And I know y'all are too, but man, I told my woman, I was like, man, I have to definitely take that time to separate from it all, because it'd be a new beginning and a start, and it'd just be kind of like, you know what I'm saying, something I have to separate from. Because at this point, I feel like if you don't see what's going on right now, you're never going to get it. You're never going to get it. Never going to get it. You're never going to get it. If you don't see what the hell's going on right now and you don't realize the New World Order is being built up right in front of your eyes by the children of Lucifer, by the fallen seed, by the Aryan, and this is the return of the Nephilim, the return of the Ubermensch, the return of the Aryan fallen seed race. If you can't see that by now, nigga, I don't know what else to tell you. If you can't see that they are working against black folk in every single way, I don't know what else to tell you. If you still believe these people are your comrades and your allies, bro, I don't know what else to tell you. Actually, let's finish this video of this woman. Wanted to finish. By the way, can y'all hear this okay? Because when I was playing it, it sounds really low on my end. Like, this video, like, give me a 1 if the sound is good, because this is like, to me, it sounds kind of low, and I have the volume turned up, but just give me a 1 if you can hear it okay.
No, it's what it is. It's not me being exaggerated, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm just speaking it plain and simple. You can't expect a dog to be human when he is a dog.
Mm-hmm. A beast. A beast.
The Bible calls him the beast of the field, because that's the
beast of the field.
Having sex with beast of the field. They have what's called the RH negative blood.
RH negative blood. Ah, yeah. I think the truth is getting out there. Hey, I think the truth is getting out there. It's getting out there. The truth is getting out there. Yeah. It's getting out there. Yeah, like, I mean, I tried to play it, but I try to play it, but like, I mean, I don't know. I just think the way it was recorded, she just has a very low, like, I guess he was recording it secondhand. And so, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. But yeah, not really sure what the deal is with that. But y'all can hear it. I think that's about as good as this is gonna get as far as the volume, because somebody recorded it from a phone, so it just sounds the way it does. But as long as y'all can hear what she's saying.
The RH negative blood will mix with our blood. That's when the body try to abort the baby. Because our body said, this ain't of God.
Yeah.
I'm made of God. And basically, when black women are having these white men babies, they are being incubators for the seed of Satan. They're bringing forth the enemy.
I agree.
You're going to see a lot. You're going to see
Okay. This is the last time I'm going to respond to you. White people do not come from Japheth. All right? Black people are indigenous to this earth. White people are not. So when you're talking about Gog and Gomer and all these descendants, and some of them are descendants of giants, like Gomer or Magog is a descendant of the giants. But the original Europeans were black. So that's not going to save you either. You cannot run to that argument either. And I'm actually going to block you because clearly you don't know how to just be quiet. When you look at the indigenous people of this earth, all of them are black. Let's look at some of them real quick. Let's look at this real quick. We're going to get back to her, but I'm just going to show this because the truth is the truth. So if you look at all of these indigenous people, look at that hair. This is in Asia. Hold on. Bring this up. Look at this. This is Asia. Okay? That's indigenous. That's not white. This is a Japhite. Let's keep going. Woolly-haired people in Europe. These are Japhites. Look at the melanin. Look at that woolly hair. Indigenous. They were there long before the pale skins. Japhites. Look at these people right here in Fiji. Look at that beautiful melanin. Look at that woolly hair. Japhites. These are the people the fallen seed have wiped out and tried to cover up that they don't exist. You know why they want to claim they Japheth? Because they covered up the fact that these people have been here way longer than them. This is the cover up. Look at these Tasmanian or Aboriginal Australians. Japhites. Okay? The Europeans, the original ones, can be white. This Bible is about black people, period. Has nothing to do with white people at all. White people just wrote themselves into scripture and try to claim to be something they're not. I mean, you look at the Aboriginal, you know what I'm saying? Even if you look at the Etruscans, another black people with woolly hair, no pale skins anywhere to be found. As a matter of fact, as I said, the Yamnaya tribe, who were white people, literally wiped out the majority of all the male people that were in Europe. And it was only females that were left. So they colonized and killed all these other tribes who were black, obviously. And then they raped their women and had children with them, creating more pale-skinned children. So it's like, once you understand that they really just eliminate people and take their identity, including the Khazars, all right, all Indo-Europeans, all these Indo-Europeans have a propensity to do that. To wipe out, kill people, colonize them, make treaties with them, break the treaty, and then kill them, and then, you know what I'm saying, take their identity. Let's look at these right here. These are some Etruscans in Europe. Got receipts all day long. These look like white people to you? These are Europeans. These are Etruscans. I get it. Y'all, you know, white people lie all the time and they write themselves in, you know, as part of history, but that's why they have revisionist history. Look at that. Look at that woolly hair. That's not a white man. Look at these dreads. Look at that Negro. Look at it. It says black people in Europe. You know what? Let's watch this. Y'all want to watch this? Somebody did a video called Black People in Europe. Y'all want to watch it? Give me a one if y'all want to watch that real quick. I know y'all do. It's like it goes without saying, but I like it when I got my audience participation. Y'all want to, let's watch this right now. Come on. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Because, I mean, okay, look, fam, I'm low-key thinking about starting a series as well. I know I keep talking about all these different series, but I'm thinking about starting a series called Finding Japheth, where we try to go to prove the original Europeans were black. But let's get to it. Y'all want it? Let's do it. No diddy. All right, here we go. Let's watch this. Okay. Should be, yeah, let's go right here. Black people in Europe. All right, y'all. Let's get to it.
Hey, what's good, y'all? So I'm in the library. I like to come to the library every now and then. I ain't been in a long time and just look at books, open up books and find out, you know.
All right, let's fast forward.
These are Caucasian people, but notice how they did his hair like a fro, right? Now I'm gonna open it up. So on the map, this is where they would have been at, right? Let's just go by the way. And let me just say, I don't believe these were black people that in America, but these were a dark-skinned race. I gotta talk low. Look at the braids.
What? This is not white people hair. Okay? That's a prognathous jaw. Okay? These are black people. Greek women. Well, this is a Greek woman right here, and there's a Greek man with a beard, clearly, but look at those braids, though. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Look Caucasian to me.
Bro, this is not a white man. Look at that. This is bro got the whole Rick Ross. Bro got the Rick Ross freeway beard. Bro got the Rick Ross freeway beard. Bro got the Rick Ross freeway beard. He look like he about to go, oh. That's hilarious. Let's look at another one. Yeah. Kind of, I mean, whenever I see them damage the nose, they're definitely trying to hide black features. Those lips, Negro lips for sure. Sorry, I'm just kind of like going through some of these. Let's see. There go the nose again. What are they hiding? Anytime I see them mess with the nose, bro, I'm like, most likely black.
Nose knocked off.
Yep. Just like the Egyptians.
You see that?
Oh, that's a black, they're like some kind of centurion or something like that, or a soldier.
That he was black, you can still see the color.
Yup. And by the way, this channel is called Black Authentic Truth, and I think they got a whole bunch of videos talking about the black Europeans and stuff. So check them out.
See what I'm saying? Nose broke off.
All of them.
But you see the games that they play. This is the games that they play when it comes to hiding history that every ancient nation was a dark-skinned nation. We've seen a statue of a goddess. So the goddesses were white. That's what they will want you to believe. The Romans. Now, remember what I was saying earlier about how they find statues like this, scope artifacts like this, and then they wipe off the paint. Everything that you've ever seen, I don't care what kingdom, where it was, it looked like this. And then what you get is something like this in the history books. You get something where the paint has been totally
just wiped off.
Taken off.
Yeah, totally wiped off.
And something like this was just slept through the cracks. This brother right here, or I keep saying brother, right? But this man, melanated man, or a man that is a black man or a brown man, he slept through the cracks, because usually they would have broke that nose off real quick.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
A Caucasian person that will argue with you up
bro,
and down.
Look at them lips.
People
bro, look at them lips. Come on, bro. Them is some Negro lips right there, bro. Unmistakable, bro. Unmistakable. Them is a black man's lips, bro. I mean, no Diddy. I mean, I ain't looking at his lips like that. I'm just saying, if there's anything that stands out about this, is that they did not remove the nose, but the lips definitely do stand out. And like I said, I ain't looking at another man's lips. No homo, bro. I'm just trying to point out Negro features, all right? No Diddy. And the beard also would be a good indicator, but the lips for sure. Absolutely. Look just like Rick Ross, bro. If I did a side-by-side, bro, y'all would be like, bro. Like, y'all would be like, and this is the Etruscans. That's what I'm saying. Europe was black. Them is Japhites. And don't get me wrong, you have some black people that migrated from Africa, like you have some of the Sam people that was in Northeast Asia and all of that, which is why you have the white Asians of today, because they do have some of the DNA from the African San, Bushmen, South African tribes that, you know, have more of the Asiatic features. They came from Africa. So some of them do have some of that Canaanitic DNA from some of those tribes out there in Africa, for sure. But you have people that was already there. You know what I'm saying? Like the, you know, Aboriginals and the Etruscans and all that, but they have just been killed by these white tribes and wiped out and their identity stolen. There's been so much whitewashing of stuff, bro. Like, y'all wouldn't believe how much effort they put into doing this. And y'all see the effort they put into it. And that's why they don't like me, because I'm over here uncovering all of this. You know what I'm saying? I done turned into a full-on, you know what I'm saying, documentary and investigative minister of information. I got to dig and dig and dig to pull this stuff out. You know how hard it is to find these videos, bruh? It'd be hard, but I find them, you know what I'm saying? I find information. It's a lot of digging I got to do. Take a lot of time to find it. But I bring it out, though.
Were white people. And get upset because what they say, they'll say, you know, you're a sub-Saharan African. You need to just,
yep.
You know, you trying to take other people's culture. You trying to, you know, all of that crap.
Yeah, projection.
When the proof is right there, the research, and you look at the other ones, you'll see that they're black. But, you know, the stone really don't lie.
Whoa, come on, y'all. That is a black man. That is a black man. I mean, even the countenance is like, when I think of a black man's countenance, it reminds me of Yahusha. When I think of a black man's countenance, I think of Yahusha. That's how Yahusha looking on that day he come back, bro. He gonna have that look on his face, ready to slay the heathen, bro. Ready to avenge his people. What's his channel called, sister? His channel is called The Black Authentic Truth. Black Authentic Truth is this brother's channel. I don't know him, never talked to him. I just learned about him today, but, you know, check that brother out, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate what he's doing and bringing out the truth. Our people need to know what's up. Now, I'm going to say this real quick, fam. Sometimes I don't be in agreeing with our people because they be trying to make like every single people black, right? Like every single, like say, black Negroes be trying to, what we be trying to say that we know everybody was originally black on this earth. But what I'm saying is we be trying to say that we every people. Oh, we was the Atlanteans. Oh, we the Moors. Oh, we this. Oh, we that. We ain't everybody, bro. All right. Let's just be honest. You could say they black, but just because they black don't mean they are people. Yeah, I agree with you. Everybody was black on this earth at one point until the fallen seed came about. But I just don't believe every single people group is us. Because not every single black people group follows our ways and follows Yahuwah's Torah. So I believe in separating from the ways of the heathen nations who are melanated that don't serve the Most High and their traditions and their ways. I'm not willing to throw my heritage in the trash and claim a people who are pagan heathens. Just because they look like us, just because they're black, just because they might be related to our Canaanite or Hamite cousins or Japhetic cousins, don't mean I'm going to claim them as our people. Not like that, because they might be pagans. Sure, just saying. All right, let's keep going, y'all. This one right here, bro, definitely a black man. It's at the black man's countenance. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's like the face that you make when you trying to let a person know I'm not the one to play with. People tell me I kind of have this kind of look on my face, right? Like, I had this one girl. I told y'all this story before. This one girl told me I look hecka mean or like I'm mad at somebody. I'm like, nah, ma, I'm not mad. I just, you know what I'm saying? I have a serious countenance unless I'm like laughing or I say something funny. But yeah, I mean, that's a typical countenance I would think of that a black man exudes. You know what I'm saying? In general. But just by the countenance itself, that's a black man, bro. Straight up, bro.
And these was the ancient Romans and how they saw themselves. What I'm saying is that all nations were dark nations in antiquity. That's what I'm saying. And somewhere along the line, a people got some power and painted themselves into history.
Black man. Look at those lips. Black man. Hold on, I want to look at that last one with the dress. Oh yeah. Definitely black man. Look at those dreads. It's like a Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony. Kind of remind me of him a little bit. Y'all know Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony? Look just like him, kind of. Or at least resembles him. When I look at this, I think like Busy Bone, Young Snoop, Young Nip, Nipsey Hussle. That's what it looked like to me. That's what it reminds me of. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. All right, y'all. Well, look. That was a little bit of a side note. But yeah, man, we're gonna definitely get back to it on Friday. There's a lot more I'm gonna be digging into, but this was kind of just a precedent to set for the show that we're gonna be doing Friday. So we'll be back here Friday 8:30. But just the whitewashing that they've done. This is one of the biggest cover-ups is that black people have been the greatest contributors of society. Prior to, what they thought they introduced to people. And don't get me wrong, bro, like they've had contact with the fallen. So they've had technology, you know what I'm saying, that they would have received from these fallen angels, these Nephilim. Definitely. I'm not at all denying that. But what I'm saying is this same demon seed wiped out the Adamic seed all around the world and stole their identity. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying they're the children of Cain. I'm saying they're the children of the devil. I'm saying they're the children of the serpent. And they hate the Adamic seed. They hate all melanated people. They're jealous of all melanated people. Because they're the cursed people. I mean, we were cursed by the Most High, but we still had his favor upon us. His favor's not upon them. Look at them birth rates, man. Love y'all, man. Always remember, family, white deaths exceed white births. Yada Yahuwah, Barak Yahuwah, all esteemed to the highest Yahuwah Shalom. Yekcyr on the beat like that. The heathens is mad and it be like that. Whites always crying cause they weak like that. They feel the black man when I speak like that. Shaggy unseasoned like ooh. Expire sour cream like ooh. Telling all my people that we better stop mixing. Children of Edom think they better off lynching. Caveman colonizer raped all women. How many black children are reported as missing? Pale-skinned demons always want to play the victim. Want to claim oppression benefit from the system. Deeds of their seed is laced with their venom. Recessive genes in them, I'm not talking about denim. On the beat like that. The heathens is mad and it be like that. Whites always crying cause they weak like that. They feel the black man when I speak like that. Shaggy unseasoned like ooh. Expire sour cream like ooh. Black, stumping out white. They high off the meth or they snorting out white. Damn, hasty, known to get lice. Evils entice, sold at a price. Judgment on the heathen like boom, 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 boom. Children of the devil like who? No. Yekcyr on the beat like that. The heathens is mad and it be like that. Whites always crying cause they weak like that. They feel the black man when I speak like that. Shaggy unseasoned like ooh. Expire sour cream like ooh.
Step. Yekcyr on the beat like let the beat ride like Yekcyr on the beat like step. Let the beat ride like
Thank you for watching. Don't forget you can support this channel by Cash App, $Malkaya Music. Also be sure to check out the Patreon for uncensored documentaries, films, deep dives, and much more content that you won't find here on YouTube. Check out the merch store for the latest trip. And let me not forget to say, if you haven't already, subscribe and hit that like button and tap in with us. All praises to the Most High, Yahuwah, the highest. Shalom.